Go before the game, during the game, and after the game. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
The biggest games, the biggest rivalries, all right here, live. You're listening to the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week pregame show, brought to you by Mr. Chubby's Wings on ESPN 690, ESPN690.com, and on Facebook at ESPN 690 Jax. Here's Brent Martineau.
We should say just finally. Finally. We've been waiting for a good one, and here we are. The weather is perfect in Baker County. No more hot weather. Instead, we get a beautiful evening for high school football and a beautiful place for high school football. Baker County, one of the great small towns in Northeast Florida. They love their football. Micah Ross is with us. No Kevin Sullivan. We traded like an Atlantic Coast, at least, connection for Kevin Sullivan here tonight for the broadcast between West Nassau and Baker County, our Action Sports Jax Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau here. Micah Ross, the former Jags player, former JU Dolphin, and now he's a basketball coach at Atlantic Coast High School. And he toys around with the football team as well from time to time. And even you were like, hey, this is how it's done out in Baker County, huh?
Yeah, I love this atmosphere right now. You see the entire families out here, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. Great atmosphere. The field is painted up. You got senior night. They're taking their last stroll on this great field, and it's a good atmosphere. This will be a good game tonight.
Yeah, senior night taking place right now. The festivities are underway for football players, cheerleaders, members of the band. And just to get a sense of the atmosphere out here, police escort for the team coming over from the school. The school is about a couple miles away from where the football place is, Memorial Stadium here in McClenny. And it's kind of just fun to see that part of it. We've covered state championship runs from Baker County where the whole town shuts down and heads down to Central Florida or sees the team off. It's really cool. If we think high school football, I know a lot of people think like Texas and Friday Night Lights, and you get a little bit of that here in Baker County, and it's a good feel. It's a cool feel. And like I said, we got a beautiful night and a good football game because West Nassau is kind of like that town too, you know, and they've got a 6-1 football team that comes in here. Baker County's 4-3. Kevin May's the new head coach. So we should have a good one. Who knows what happens tonight under the lights when this thing kicks off in a few minutes, but I like the matchup.
Yeah, it's definitely a good matchup tonight, and West Nassau coming in here 6-1. You know, they're probably a senior night. They kind of want to spoil the senior night for all these seniors, and they want to come out and they want to start fast, get the ball moving up and down the field, play good defense. And Baker County is going to be strong. They're going to come out with a lot of emotion. It's going to be whoever can control their emotions, get up top early, and that should be the key to the game.
Baker County, West Nassau, our Action Sports Jax Game of the Week. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here. And from a Baker County standpoint, they will lean on the quarterback, Alex Bowen, who you just got a text from.
Yes, Coach Shields at JU. And he the quarterback, yes, is a JU commit, and look forward to him being a Dolphin, another Dolphin. You know, we're the Harvard of the South, JU, and good. But I like to see what he can do and see what he's going to bring to the table next year. But more importantly, finish out the senior year right here with a win for Baker County.
Yeah, Alex Bowen, he's a 6-foot senior, so a bit undersized at the QB position, but he's a good athlete, good player. Actually spent a couple years at Yulee High School, and think about it from his standpoint. He went from Yulee and a different offense to Jamie Rogers, who was the coach last year in a successful one, different offense, and now he gets Kevin Mays, who's really an offensive guy, and he's changing around the offense. So a lot to handle for a young player, for a quarterback, but it's been an admirable job and job done pretty well by Alex Bowen.
Right, and he'll get another offense next year when he goes to JU.
Right.
But definitely the quarterback is the key to the game, and learning all those different systems will only help you in the future.
Yeah, Baker County now, 4-3 they come in, and every game has been tight. You know, and I don't know if that grinds you or if it helps you because, well, you're used to it. And Kevin Mays even told me today, he's like, hey, I would love to just breathe easy at the end of the game. But he said, I don't think tonight's going to be the night for that. They've had a couple of games decided by 10 points, but outside of that, everything under a possession. And so think about a tight game in the second half, which we kind of expect here tonight, and at least Baker County's used to it.
And you want to see guys learn from those close games and how do you adapt in those situations. And more importantly, when you get in those tight situations, are you executing on offense? Are you wrapping up and tackling on defense? Are you not turning the ball over and making mistakes that you probably made that could – it's always a couple of plays in a game that could be the deciding factor. You want to make sure you're learning from those those mistakes and capitalizing on them this time of the year.
All right, our Mr. Chubby's Wings pregame show rocks on. Senior night continues here at Baker County. We're going to take a timeout. Action Sports Jack's Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Of course, on the radio and on all the social media platforms, we'll have video as well. 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll be back from Baker County right after this.
Golick and Wingo are coming to Jacksonville for the Florida-Georgia game.
Hey everybody, Trey Wingo. I want to invite you to come watch us do our show live from Intuition Ale Works on Friday, November 1st. To register for your chance to win VIP passes, go to ESPN690.com.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from Golick and Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. Clearly, it's because I'm on every morning from 6 till 10 a.m. But this isn't about me. It's about your business. Get your business noticed today. First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get on our team than right now. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Ace is celebrating their 95th birthday with sale prices for you. Ace pleated air filters, assorted sizes, buy 2, get 1 free. Birdseed, just $9.99 per bag for 40 pounds of wild bird food. Or 20 pounds of black oil sunflower seed. Fortify your turf from the cold with Fertilome Winterizer. Now $17.99 per bag. Shop the 95th anniversary sale Abration at your neighborhood Ace. For additional sale items, visit jacksace.com. Get it delivered by shopping at acehardware.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Homegrown and ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport, Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Your team experts offer the top brands like Under Armour and Adidas. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone. It's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the West Side and in Fleming Island.
There's a lot of reasons for buying flowers for your wife or girlfriend. Birthdays, anniversaries, you're in trouble again. But those are all pretty cliche. How about you get her flowers because she fixed your favorite dinner? Or just because you want to surprise her? No matter the occasion, or no occasion at all, check out Seawalk Custom Florals. They even deliver. Visit SeawalkCustomFlorals.com or call 904-554-0617. And don't forget about your mom either. Seawalk Custom Florals.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Tonight's pregame show is sponsored by Mr. Chubby's Wings. You want the best wings in town? Mr. Chubby's Wings is the place to go before the game, during the game, and after the game. Chub it up at Mr. Chubby's Wings.
You're listening to the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week pregame show, brought to you by Mr. Chubby's Wings on ESPN 690. Here's Brent Martineau.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Baker County in McClenny Memorial Stadium. Baker County hosting West Nassau. We got a good one tonight in our Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with Micah Ross, former JU Dolphin, former Jacksonville Jaguar, filling in for Kevin Sullivan here tonight, who's somewhere up in the mountains. Hopefully he has as good a weather as we are.
Yeah, the old ball coach will get fined for missing this one.
Hey, that's what you can do when you're close to retirement, right?
Right,
or at least
right.
retired from the sidelines. The Hall of Famer can get away with that. We've got the coin toss coming up just momentarily. But before we do that, let's get to our keys to the game. Honda at the Avenues, Lou Saab, Honda the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. And quick keys to the game. From a West Nassau standpoint, it's interesting. They have balanced two quarterbacks all year long. They rotate series. So they've managed that very well. They don't usually even go with a hot hand. Close game late doesn't matter. They just have to keep rolling, take care of business, and keep whatever's working on the offensive side, which, by the way, has gone from a double wing offense at times to a spread offense now over the last couple of years under Ricky Armstrong. They just got to kind of keep it going. It's that simple.
Yep, you just do what you've been doing the whole year. You're 6-1. You've been playing well pretty much and winning games. Now is the time you just keep pressing forward, keep doing the same things you're going to do, rotate those quarterbacks and keep drives going.
And by the way, they turned the ball over a bunch earlier in the season. They were still able to get away with it at times, other than a loss to Lee, which, by the way, is not a bad loss when you lose to Lee 33-14. But they've done a nice job of taking care of the football lately. And when you do that, every night you give yourself a chance to win a football game. As for Baker County, in terms of the keys to the game, well, they've got to use their good players to get on that scoreboard, because we could end up having a shootout. And one of their good players, Scooby Graham, on the running back position. He's their go-to guy. In fact, Kevin May's the new head coach. He said he's been doing this for more than 20 years. Says he might be the best running back he's been around. And it might not be a guy that jumps at you with speed or big-time power, but just the savvy, the vision to be able to play that position. And they've got it with Scooby.
Yeah, anytime you have a dynamic running back that can get into open space and make things happen, you're gonna control the tempo, you're gonna control the pace of play, and you're gonna be able to control the game pretty much, a good running game, and get him out in space, let all the rest of the weapons go to work, and it should be a good night for him.
There's our keys to the game. Honda the Avenues, Lou Saab, Honda the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. Our keys to the game, we'll keep an eye on those things, and obviously you'll know what's happening because we mentioned some of the star players in this football game from Baker County, Scooby Graham, and of course the quarterback situation, and a rotating one at that for West Nassau. I talked about it a little bit, Micah. It's interesting because, you go out to a West Nassau game in recent years, and it is that double wing, or they'll run misdirection stuff, and, well, they've changed. They have talent on the outside. They like the talent they have, and they say, we're going to use that into that spread, which, that's not unusual. Everybody's almost gone to the spread by now.
Yeah, that's what all the kids want to play. They want to play in the shotgun every play, throw it out there, a lot of bubble screens, quick screens, trying to get the ball in the space. And that's what football is developing to now, where you get your guys, your best athletes in space, and make guys make one-on-one tackles. And if you miss, then you get guys running down the sidelines to the end zone. So anytime you get your athletes in space is a good thing.
Well, they'll try to do that. By the way, West Nassau will get the football first. They will kick off first, Baker County here at home will get the football first. They're in their home red uniforms, black helmets. West Nassau on the road with some black trousers, if you will, and white jerseys, and think Washington Redskin kind of look with the helmets and the jerseys. So it will be West Nassau kicking the football off first. Ricky Armstrong, the head coach of the West Nassau Warriors, actually is our Baker Sports Coach of the Week on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. He's got him off to a 6-1 start, does West Nassau. We got an early onside kick as we get going in this one, and they will do that quite a bit. A very short kick, trying to take advantage on special teams. They do get it, too. How about that? They come up, surprise us right away. And did they come up with it? Did they just point the other way?
And it looks like West Nassau.
They did.
Actually, they're going to give it to Baker County.
Okay.
He pointed the wrong way.
He pointed the wrong way. I was like, wait a minute here. Time out. The start got us all going here as we just get kicked off here at Baker County. I was like, wait a minute here. Did I see things funny already? Get the binoculars out early on a Friday night. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here to bring you the Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week. So here we go for Baker County. They will start with two receivers to the right, one to the left, and they will bring out their quarterback, Alex Bowen. And Scooby Graham in the backfield off to the right side. They set a player in motion, fake the handoff. Bowen now looks down the right side of the field, and that ball is incomplete. He actually had a receiver down the right sideline, on the near sideline open, but that was not his intended target.
Yeah, they ran a little jet motion on the first play and tried to run two verts on the right-hand side, and he had a guy, number one, Avant Lee. He was open, but he just kind of overthrew it a little bit.
So it brings up a 2nd and 10. Baker County, after the somewhat onside kick attempt by West Nassau, starting at their own 39, and it's 2nd and 10. We have a whistle. And I think our officials just trying to set that football up. They marked it in the wrong spot. So, well, tough start for the Zebras.
They're trying to get away. Get away.
All right, so here we go. Snap a hand to Scooby Graham. Up the middle he goes. And just for a yard or two, they'll mark out to the 40-yard line. So we'll bring up a 3rd and 8 here in the early going.
And right now, Baker County is lining up and going to go with a quick tempo here.
Yeah, they like to do that. Trips to the right, receiver to the left on 3rd and 8. Bowen now being flushed out of the pocket, rolls right, has a receiver, and it's incomplete. A little too much momentum around the 43-yard line on the near side, right in front of his own bench, and Baker can't complete the pass, or it might have went for a little bit. Instead, Baker County forced the punt, and Alex Bowen, the quarterback, does the punting duties.
Right, and he was just a little bit off right there. If he could make that completion, the guy was wide. Avant Lee was wide open in the flat, and he probably would have ran for the first down and possibly another 10 yards before someone got to him.
So in the punt formation is Baker County, and Bowen doesn't really drop back that far, so you always have to be aware. And he gets the punt off. It's not a great one inside West Nassau territory, inside the 40-yard line, but pretty good starting field position for West Nassau, and it will start at their own 37-yard line, their first possession of the football game. Good start for the West Nassau defense. They come in 6-1. Baker County is 4-3, and we're off and running here on a Friday night and a beautiful one in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brett Martineau, Micah Ross here in McClenny.
And West Nassau couldn't ask for a better start. You're kicking the ball off, and you kick it, almost get it, and then you come out with a quick 3 and out and take the crowd out of the game, the early emotions of senior night. Now, if they come out and capitalize on it, they'll be in a good shape.
Now, I mentioned they'll rotate the quarterbacks, and they'll rotate between Blaze Padgett and Chaz Hirschman. And Padgett will start the football game. Again, it's a possession-by-possession thing. This isn't like a hot hand. This is something they've done. And part of it is both quarterbacks were injured in the spring, so they had to use a JV quarterback. And when they came back, they're both seniors. They both have good attributes. And so Ricky Armstrong's like, hey, let's do it. Let's roll with it. And it's worked for him.
Hey, it worked for Bartram a couple years ago.
That's right. Good point. Joey Gatewood.
Yep.
Riley Smith. Well, the early handoff now reverse, and that's Chaz Davis has it. Look to throw, and he does throw, but pretty good coverage out there down to the 40-yard line. So a trick play right off the rip for West Nassau. A reverse throw by Davis, and it falls incomplete. Pretty well defended and underthrown.
Oh, a double reverse pass on the first play, and I got to give the cornerback a lot of credit. He probably didn't see what was going on.
Yeah, he didn't bite.
He didn't bite it. He was with him step for step, and incompletion and a good stop.
How about that? Right out of the gates, we got some excitement. West Nassau pulling out all the stops, and they will do the onside kick try quite a bit, and Baker County's ready for that. They've even mixed some things up on their special teams because of that. Padgett now out of the shotgun. Trips to the right. Ethan Johns in motion. Now he will get the pass around the 35-yard line, scoot forward to around the 40, and a few-yard gain, really no different than like a 3-yard run. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Right. They went at that time. They had a motion over to quads, the tight end over to quads, and then they had another motion with the running back. So it was an overload to the right and got 3 yards, but that was a good job of Baker County defending that overload.
Yeah, they flooded that side, and now they'll flood the left side a little bit with trips to the left on a 3rd and 7 at their own 40-yard line. One receiver right. Padgett and Johns in the backfield. Padgett waiting for the football. He gets the snap. He looks right, now comes back to his left, has a receiver, completion, first down right around midfield. That's Terry Mitchell. He's got good hands, and he showed it there. Picks up the first down into Baker County territory to the 49.
Yep, ran a nice little inside slant in route. Probably got to the sticks and was able to pick up the first down. A good throw. I like the pocket presence just now, and there was no rush. He gave him time to throw the ball.
That was a very patient play all around on 3rd and 7. Had time in the pocket. They got it done. So it brings down 1st and 10 on the 49. Now the handoff to Johns. He's running left, and he might get back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by the Baker County defense.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Baker County. They have a few bigger kids, but they're a little bit undersized, a little bit up front, so we'll probably look for them to do a lot of stunning, trying to get to the different gaps, and that time they did a great job of making sure that nothing can come from that play.
I feel like we say this every week we do a game, but a young football team for Baker County. 4 wide receivers set on the left now. West Nassau, they get the snap, and that is gobbled up. What a great job defensively by Baker County as Chaz Davis. He's been all over the place early, and this time he goes backwards 5 yards.
Yeah, and they had a little diamond action there, and they threw it, the receiver bubble screen out to the left side, and they did a great job of getting through there and making the tackle.
Throwing all sorts of looks, and we have an injured West Nassau player down on the field right now. He is being looked at, and that's the offensive lineman, big number 74, Trey McCullough, 6'5", 305 pounds. He's the left tackle, so he's the biggest player out on the football field. And right now he's down on his backside, being attended to by Armstrong and the trainers.
Yeah, and I didn't see what happened, but they're kind of working on his leg a little bit, so – but that was a good play. Going back to the last play, being able to get through 3 blockers and go on and make the tackle and wait for the team to help. And it was good pursuit on that play. You can see the entire defense running to the ball. When you get hatched to the ball, that's where you start getting turnovers and major collisions.
You said it, they're diamond formation with the 4 wide receivers, and they did a bubble screen. And I think with all the traffic right there, I think McCullough probably got rolled up on in that pile, and he just got to his feet, putting a little pressure on that left side.
That's a good sign that he's able to put some pressure on it.
Well, it's almost like he needs to. He's 305 pounds. I'm not sure anybody wants to help him off the field.
That's a big carry, good workout.
Yeah, he got taken out there on that left side of his leg, and that's why you see him not putting a lot of weight on that, rolled up on a bit on that play. So, nonetheless, he walks off the field, and hopefully he'll be okay, and we'll see if we get him back in the football game for West Nassau. But it brings up the 3rd and long. Baker County doing a really nice job defensively. A lot of different wrinkles being thrown at them here in the first couple minutes of the football game, and they're doing a nice job with it.
Right, yep, and right now they forced a 3rd and 15, so if you can just kind of come up, make a tackle, keep everything underneath the chains, and you can get off the field.
All right, so 4 wide receivers set. Paget now in the shotgun. Davis, John's off to his right hip. Now he takes the snap, spins around, throws right, and it might be picked off, almost picked off by Baker County's Tracy White, as he had a step on that one right near the first down marker. Falls incomplete. West Nassau will have to punt. 9:09 to go in the first quarter, just a few minutes in, and we're scoreless here in McClenny.
And I saw Tracy White just now. He's wearing that number 2 for Baker County, and I thought he was going to pick it off like Dion and FSU and a high step down the sideline. He made a great break on that comeback route. And waited good job of just watching his keys and playing the sticks.
As long as you say Dion and don't bring up Jalen Ramsey's name tonight, those are bad words here in Northeast Florida at the moment. So it's 4th and 15. Obviously, West Nassau will have to punt, and they get the punt away. That's William Carroll doing the honors, and a good roll too. Now inside the 15, and I think the West Nassau Warrior down there covering it thought the 10-yard line was the goal line because he dove on that thing like he was trying to save somebody.
And for as good a play Tracy White made on the last play on defense, you got to kind of come up and try to field that ball. It landed probably around the 18-yard line, and it rolled all the way down to around inside the 10. So that little bit of field position is key when you're starting off a drive.
Obviously a very good punt, too, 43 yards or so, 44 yards of net gain for West Nassau. So Baker County begins their second possession at about the 11-yard line, 1st and 10. Bowen in the shotgun. He hands off to Graham. Graham kind of cuts back to the left, following the left guard, and can't really do much, just to maybe a yard.
Yep.
Actually, no, they can push it out there. We're a distance away there. Lost my depth perception there, man. That's about a handful of yards, so not a bad gain on first down. Fake to Graham this time as they're in up-tempo, and the receiver falls down, wants a flag, incomplete nonetheless. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 as Baker County's going quick on offense.
Yeah, and that time they tried to run the RPO, and they tried to throw the slant over underneath, but they let the defender got in there and made a good break on the ball, was forced a 3rd down and 5.
So 3rd down and 5 from their own 16-yard line. 8:36 to go in the first quarter. No score here at Memorial Stadium. Baker County, shotgun snap to Bowen. They send everybody, set up the screen to Graham. He's got a 1st down and then some. Beautiful play call. Still on the far sideline and in play. And he is out to the 36-yard line. Really a nice play call. They set up the screen to perfection, pick up the 1st down, and then some.
Oh, that was a great design call. When we played, they would always say, watch out for the reverse screens. And on that play, and they threw the screen, and it was set up. The offensive lineman did a great job of baiting them, and then it got down and blocking it up.
3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left now. On 1st and 10 from their own 36. Bowen swings it out. Here's Graham again. He's got it now across the 40 to the 45 and up to the 48-yard line on the completed pass. And really just simple pass and catch and go pick up another 1st down.
Yeah, and simple football right there. You get your best athlete, Mr. Scooby Graham, out in space. Let your receivers did a great job of blocking down the field, holding the point of contact, and just let him create something for your offense.
Avant Lee lifts off the field for Baker County, so we'll keep an eye on that. The senior goes off to the sideline. Looked like a left ankle, left foot area. 3 wide receivers left for Baker County. 1 receiver to right, Scooby Graham in the backfield along with Alex Bowen. He hands to Graham. Graham follows some blockers, patient run, cuts back off to the right, down inside the 45-yard line of West Nassau. And now there's just a host of bodies pushing. They finally blow the whistle. If they never did, he might still be going.
He probably would have took the whole pile to the end zone that time, but great job, great vision. He did a little Fred Taylor, a little cut back there to get the 1st down, and now right now Baker County is putting together a pretty good drive.
I'll tell you what, you saw the patient running, the vision right there of Scooby Graham, exactly what Kevin Mays was talking about. We mentioned it in our Mr. Chubby's Wings pregame show. A fake handoff this time to Graham, and now Bowen keeps it. Designed run, and inside the 40-yard line. Picks up just a few yards, brings up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, but they're gonna keep them honest. You're gonna keep riding Scooby, but you still got to keep the defense honest. And that time the quarterback was able to keep the ball and get up the field for 4 yards.
7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Call it a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. 4 wide receivers set. This time he does give it to Graham. He has a big hole in the left side, but then it's swallowed up quickly. And a nice tackle in the open field. It'll bring up 3rd and short after a gain of a few.
And you notice what Baker County is doing. They're going quick in tempo. You usually, if you see tempo, you think pass, but they're just wearing them out by running the ball in the trenches.
Well, same look now. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. 3rd and a couple on the 33-yard line. The give to Graham, and Graham had a hole for a moment. He's close to a 1st down as he followed the center right up the gut. But that was denied by West Nassau, and I think we're going to get a 4th and short here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and it looks like West Nassau's probably running like a little 3-3-5, and anytime team is running in a 3-3, you want to run the ball into that front and get as many yards you can.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. They load up the backfield a little bit. Here on a 4th and short from the 31-yard line, just outside the 31 of West Nassau. Everybody stacked there in the middle, and did they get them to jump? It sure looks like it. Baker County on the hard count gets West Nassau to jump and give them 5 and a 1st down.
And that's a great job. I can see the quarterback doing this little Peyton Manning mannerisms just now, but great job with his cadence, and you can see him, and he got West Nassau to jump and get a free 1st down.
That's a senior quarterback who's been through it a bunch, been through a bunch of different offenses, but that's a savvy move by a veteran QB for Baker County. We've got a water break here in McClenny. No score. Baker County driving. Our Action Sports Shacks game of the week on ESPN 690 rolls on right after this.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I'm sitting with the defense by the lunch table. He goes, Austin, come over here. I'm like, Alex Smith knows my name. That's pretty cool to start things off with. And then all of a sudden, me and Alex Smith are talking about it. But I'm saying the culture, it manifested on itself.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
You're listening to the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Now, back to the action. Here's Brent Martineau.
Well, it's not that hot out tonight, so the water break's a little bit shorter, I guess. Brett Bartno, Mike Ross back here in Baker County. Second down and about 7 for Baker County. They give it to Graham off the right side. He's still on his feet inside the 15-yard line. A tough run for Scooby Graham down to the 13 and another first down for the Cats.
And sometimes coaches, they kind of out-trick themselves by trying to change it up. Right now, the run game is working for Baker County. Keep running until they adjust and stop it.
Jamarian Baker and Scooby Graham in the backfield. This time they'll give it to Baker. Baker off the left side, has a hole, breaks a tackle down to the 5, the 3, touchdown. Jamarian Baker for Baker County, and the Wildcats are on the board first.
Tremendous run right now. A little run to the left side. He was able to break a tackle, get into the end zone, and what I like is he kept his drive going. Moving his feet, ran through the arm tackle, and was able to force his way into the end zone.
He bounced off a defender around the 5-yard line and kept going into the end zone. Our first score of the game. Scooby Graham did most of the work. Jamarian Baker finished it off for 6. Now the extra point, the snap, the hold, the kick, all good. And it's 7-0 here from Baker County. A tremendous drive to start this thing for the Wildcats. It's possession number 2, but they got the ball down at the 11-yard line. They drive 89 yards. And that was textbook. They put on a clinic.
Oh, it was an attitude drive just now. They started in the end zone, and I think they threw the ball, that one slant, but then they just started running the ball. And like I said, West Nassau on that front they're running, it's not you got to come downhill, but if you get a lot of movement and penetration, that makes the defense better. But Baker County was able to limit that, and they were getting 5 yards down the field before the first West Nassau player was able to get even close to touching someone.
Well, you mentioned it, just one pass play on the entire drive, and they rode Scooby Graham. Alex Bowen mixed in a run, and obviously Jamarian Baker finished it off. But that was all number 5. Scooby Graham, the sensational junior for the Wildcats, and he just proved it right there.
Right, and a great job of just hanging on to the ball. Usually running backs, they come out, they get a little tired, but you just keep feeding them, let them eat.
So here we go, the kickoff. West Nassau will get the football. Just a little punch kick down to the 30-yard line, and it's taken by West Nassau. And that's Zorian Stanton off to the right side. And he's had some success returning kicks, and I think that's why you saw just a little bit of a poochy kind of kick from Baker County. They don't want to mess with the return team of West Nassau, who's had some success early this year.
Yeah, you can tell they don't want to kick it to him, and he's an electric guy, even the few yards he had. But starting off at the 40-yard line, that's good field position for West Nassau.
Blake Mays, by the way, doing the kicking duties, and that's Coach's son. Kevin Mays has 2 sons playing for him on the football team, one kicking, one long snapping. His other son is a linebacker at Army.
Oh, wow.
A freshman at Army.
West Point.
So here's West Nassau. They get the football, and they toss it out to the left side. It's a completed pass across the 40-yard line, out to close to the 45. And that's a gain of almost 4 yards on first down.
And one thing on the perimeter, they're letting them be physical and get handsy out there. So, for the least, so that means the receivers, if they're not going to call that right there, you're going to continue to grab and do what you need to do to make sure the runner have room to move.
Chaz Hirschman in the game, a rotating quarterback system for West Nassau. This is his series. First time we've seen him here tonight. The handoff to the back and swallowed up by Baker County. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. And that is all for Jesse Roche.
And you can see right now how Baker County is playing this. They're winning the line of scrimmage, especially on the defensive side and the offensive side. But on defense, you can see guys getting penetration, and that's going to limit West Nassau's ability to run the ball.
Roche will leave the game. He's a fullback. That brings Ethan Johns back into the game. Hirschman out of the shotgun. Johns off his right hip. 4 wide receivers set on 3rd down and 6. The pitch to Johns. Johns has it across the 45 around midfield. Runs into traffic, and he can't get to the first down right in front of his own bench. It'll bring up a 4th down. We'll see what Ricky Armstrong chooses to do.
And that time they just ran a little simple speedo, and the quarterback made a DN commit, and he made a good pitch. Now you got decision time at the midfield. Still early in the first quarter, and what you're going to do, punt, or you're going to go for it?
Well, they're going to bring Blaze Padgett back into the game. He comes in instead of Hirschman, and he's going under center. The fullback Roche's in there as well. They go a bunch set, kind of double wing set now. Did they drop Baker County off, or was it a false start? We'll see. But there are some bodies jumping down there right at midfield on a 4th and 1.
And the receiver, oh my gosh. As a former receiver coach, he really didn't do anything wrong because the receiver can go in motion, and he was going away from the line of scrimmage. So, Baker County is fortunate to get that penalty, but the receiver just got to play that off and act like he was going in motion, and they probably wouldn't have threw the flag.
Yeah, so he could have done that there and sold it a little bit.
Right.
Instead, it's a false start, and that changes the mind of Ricky Armstrong as now he brings the punt unit on, and they'll kick it away at their own 45-yard line. Tracy White back there to receive it around his own 20. It's a low line drive punt. It bounces again, a West Nassau bounce. It's fumbled around by White. He picks it back up at the 16 and nowhere to go. Nobody's home. And did they lose ball late? It might have, but they whistled it dead. So a nice job by the West Nassau punt team in coverage. And for the second straight possession, Baker County will start inside their own 20. Didn't seem to bother them the last time. They drove 89 yards for the first score of the game and the only score. It's 7-0, 3:03 to go in the first quarter. Baker County leads it at home.
And I know we're still early, but think about this. Baker County was able to get a free play and make West Nassau jump offside and get a free first down. And then West Nassau was going to go for it, and they get their own procedure penalty. So just something small that at the end of the game you'll wonder if that plays a factor into it.
Well, tail of 2 4th down, certainly here in the first quarter. So here comes Baker County at their own, it's called the 17. And the handoff to Graham, a jump cut back, like you mentioned, Fred Taylor-esque. But West Nassau all over that one. That didn't work. It didn't go anywhere. He probably lost a yard.
And you know how to drive where they run the ball down your throat. The defensive coaches over there, they're drawing up what adjustments they need to make and come downhill and come up and tackle.
I called a loss of 2 on the play, so we'll bring up a 2nd and 12 inside 2:45 to go in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Graham in the backfield. Bowen gets a snap, throws it out. Complete on the near side across the 30, 35. Cuts back into the 40. It's a first down and a big gain for Baker County as that's Cameron Crawford on the catch.
And one thing you see, if you commit everyone coming downhill, that time they brought the extra guy, defender down, and that leaves someone open in the passing game, and you got to be able to stop one or the other.
Bowen back there again. Graham off to his left. He gives it to Graham, and Graham's met immediately and maybe gets to the line of scrimmage or a half a yard, but not much doing. That's Centurion Mitchell, who plays both sides of the football. He was all over that play for West Nassau.
And right now you can see West Nassau, the adjustment that they've made, they're walking an extra guy up on the line of scrimmage and being more of a traditional four-man front.
They might be keeping an eye on number 5 for Baker County after that last drive. So it's 2nd and 9 from the 42. They try to set up a screen play, and Bowen overthrows Scooby Graham, and luckily nobody was in the vicinity, or that could have been trouble. Incomplete.
Yeah, it was tried to set up a screen, but the O-line got held up because the defense didn't rush that hard, and it was fortunate because number 11 for West Nassau, Chaz Davis, was close to that.
Yeah, that had a little more air under it. Chaz Davis was going the other way. So it brings up a 3rd down and 8 from their own 43-yard line for Baker County. A little pump fake from Bowen. He's looking deep down the right side, but he double covered as a receiver. Incomplete, overthrows him, nothing doing. The Warriors with tremendous defense on the 3rd down play.
Yeah, they were ready for that. They tried to run a little pump and go, and at that time West Nassau was all over. They played the sticks, and when he tried to throw it over the top, both the defenders was over there, and the safety had the best chance of making that play.
Yeah, Cameron Crawford had the big pass catch for a nice gain earlier in the drive, but he was double covered on that one. Nothing doing for Baker County. So they'll punt it away. Bowen again does the honors. He kicks this one, and it's high, but it's way right. Kind of shanked it. Now let's see where the officials spot it. Looks actually, okay, not friendly. I thought he was going to spot it at the 29. Now he calls it up to the 36-yard line. Those are always tough to tell exactly where they go. It's a little bit of a guessing game. But that's where West Nassau will start at their own 36. And I'm not sure if that was just a bad punt or if they are really concerned about the punt return team of West Nassau.
I kind of think they're the special teams, that they're not going to get beat on special teams. They're going to let their defense come out and see if they can hold them and make stops.
And by the way, that one might have been a combination of both.
We'll give them credit for that was a scheme.
All right, so out of the double wing, West Nassau begins on their own 36. They'll mix it up a little bit. They pitch it out to Davis. Davis runs right into a block, and he's nowhere to go. So that play was blown up from the start. Loses a few yards. A flag comes in late as well.
Yeah, and they're trying to get wide now, but Baker County at the point of attack in the end jack time just jacked the wing up probably about 5 yards back into the backfield and didn't give the runner any space to create and operate, and and they were able to get a loss of, well, I think 5 again on the play.
Yeah, and a penalty, so they'll march them back. They'll accept the penalty. From a spot of the foul, because everything was going backwards, this will be a big-time negative play for West Nassau. It will stay first down, but keep in mind, they got to get out to the 46-yard line, and right now that football's at the 24, so it's 1st and 22.
So right now, West Nassau, they're going to try to find something that they can get a little bit momentum with. They've tried a trick play. They've tried to spread them out. They've gone double wing, and the coach right now is trying to find something where he can just get a little bit of momentum going.
Well, they're trying to get the ball in their hands of Centuri Mitchell and Zorian Stanton and Chaz Davis. Those are their playmakers, and they're trying every which way to do it. Right now, they pitch it back, and I think that's Johns back there out of the double wing formation, picks up a few yards, gets out to the 29.
You know, and all the big playmakers on the outside, they get all the publicity and they're all the highlights. But this game right now is being won in the trenches, and Baker County is totally dominating, not allowing West Nassau to run the ball and causing them to be in long yard situations.
Good news if you're listening out in West Nassau. I'm in Callahan there. Trey McCullough is back in the football game. The left tackle injured earlier in the game, and he's back in as of now. We got a timeout here. Inside a minute to go in the first quarter, 7-0. We'll keep it right here, and we'll take a timeout at the quarter break in just a moment or two. But there is a timeout, 40.9 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 is our score. Baker County leads West Nassau. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross, our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. We're out in McClenny on a beautiful night for football. Thanks to the folks out here in Baker County. We did our afternoon show, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, just across the road. They cooked up some dinner. Chicken and rice was outstanding, some green beans, and they know how to do it out here in Baker County, don't they?
I tell you what, I love this atmosphere. I'm sitting here looking at this beautiful stadium. You got the big, the trees and all the magnolia palms, whatever they are. You got a nice family atmosphere. The field is right. You're right on top of the field. I'm telling you, this is a great place to be.
So here we go, back to live action, and maybe a play or two left in the opening quarter. West Nassau down 7-0 with the football on their own 29-yard line. Out of that double wing, there's a lot of traffic in there. They get it to Davis, but Baker County, they are not fooled at all. And West Nassau is going backwards out of this formation.
And that entire defense is coming downhill right now. They're out coming down with no abandon. They're getting into their gaps, and they're making sure they get to the ball. And like I said, what I like about them, every kid that's in that 8-man box is getting to the ball.
Ball's on the 25. They have to get to the 46, so it's 3rd and 21 here for West Nassau. I don't know which play you can go deep into your playbook for this, but they're going to try. Trips to the left, as a receiver to the right. They send Davis in motion, fake the handoff. Paget looks down the field, and he has a receiver at the 40 up to the 45. It looks like a first down, and that is Ethan Johns. Beautifully designed play, beautifully executed, and how about that on 3rd and 21? West Nassau picks up 22 and a first down.
And ended the quarter on a great play, a little wheel route out the backfield, and got one of their playmakers in space, and he's able to get the first down.
Love the wheel route. Might be my favorite play in football. We'll have more of those plays when we come back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Our game of the week into the first quarter. Baker County leads 7-0 over West Nassau.
The Stephen A. Smith Show.
I don't know what would make him think I would care about it. I don't give a damn whether I'm blocked on Instagram or not. Not like I tried to Instagram him directly. Anybody thinking about trying to post something on his page?
The Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The DTSP Songwriters Festival is 3 days of music and stories. Over 100 free acoustic performances from over 35 national singer-songwriters like Ed Roland of Collective Soul, the Warren Brothers, John Ford Coley, and a special event with Modest Yahoo. November 1st through the 3rd in beautiful downtown St. Petersburg, Florida. Details at dtspsongwritersfestival.com or like us on Facebook at DTSP Songwriters Festival. Brought to you by Funky Buddha Brewery. Visit St. Pete Clearwater and HD Radio.
You're listening to the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Now, back to the action. Here's Brent Martineau.
Well, here we go. Start of the second quarter. Shotgun snap. West Nassau has the football. They swing it out to Davis. Davis has a little running room this time. Across midfield, down inside the 48-yard line of Baker County. West Nassau with the football, trailing 7-0. And they just completed a nice pass play, a wheel route that picked up 22 yards on a 3rd and 21 keeps the drive going. They trail by a touchdown here in McClenny. Our Action Sports Shacks game of the week on ESPN 690. A few yards picked up there, and it brings up a 2nd and a handful inside Baker County territory. Paget throws it out left, has another receiver. It's caught, and it looks like it might be first down yardage after a completion to the tight end.
And you see the game plan right now. Just get it out wide, get them in space. Let your athletes, like you said, they have a ton of weapons on the outside. Let them get out of space and see if they can make some plays because there's tough sledding in the middle of that Baker County defense.
They'll call it a first down. So now West Nassau on the move, getting in a little bit of a rhythm. They got the big play after going backwards, and no doubt the spread is a bit more effective than the double wing.
Yeah, I think they probably won't be going back double wing this game.
The ball's at the 42-yard line of Baker County. 1st and 10. Paget, the quarterback in the game. 3 receivers set. They hand it to Johns. Johns has a nice hole down inside the 40. And call it the 37. He might have picked up 6 yards on the play. Good first down carry.
Yeah, and what you're going to have to do is, like you said, run when you can, keep spreading them out, getting the ball in space, but you're going to have to keep the defense honest by at least attempting to move in the middle of the defense.
10.5 minutes to go in the first half. Early in the second quarter, 7-0 Baker County, but West Nassau driving on our Action Sports Shacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Brent Martin along with Micah Ross. Paget in the shotgun, kind of pistol formation. Handoff to Roche. Roche has a couple of yards, but not able to get much more than that up the middle. Well defended by Baker County, and we've got an upcoming 3rd and short in what might be 4-down territory.
Definitely you're in that space where it's 4-down territory, so you got to put what's your best 2 plays to get 3 yards. And it's gonna, like I said, it's been hard to run the ball. So I'd say go right back to the bubble, go in the spread formation and go bubble.
They'll split Ethan Johns out along with the receiver to the right. They'll keep Roche, the fullback, in the game. 2 receivers left, and they get Baker County to jump. The hard count this time works for West Nassau. And they'll call it offsides and an automatic first down. So we've seen that a couple of times now, 1 for each team.
And you guys are a little bit excited. They're trying to make a play. It's a big game. Friday night lights. October is a little crisp in the air, and everybody's trying to make a play. And you gotta be a responsible defensive player and make sure all your fundamentals there, and make sure you're just not making an over-aggressive play.
So Eli Canode, the tight end, split out right, along with Ethan Johns, the running back. Roche in the backfield. Paget gets a snap. He spits it out to the left, has a receiver and a catch. Now moving his way on the far side of the football field and maybe to the 25-yard line. Has a crafty 5 yards out there by Zorian Stanton.
Yep, and those guys are starting to make their marks on there, and simple little tunnel screen almost. And I saw 74, which you say is good. Trey McCullough back in the game. He was out there trying to lead him and get a block on the cornerback.
They call it a 7-yard game. Brings up 2nd and 3 for Paget. Out of that pistol look. Handoff, and up the middle goes the back. It's a first down inside the 20-yard line. And West Nassau's cooking on offense. They have a nice rhythm going.
Yeah, and this is an impressive drive coming back after Baker County came down and scored.
Ligarius Johnson with the handoff, so they're rotating backs in as well. First down and 10 inside the 20. Johnson will get it again. Bounces off a couple of defenders and carries a player or two around the 15-yard line. So a nice first down gain. They might even call it the 14. Right at the 15. So a gain of a few on first down.
Yep.
And Baker County says, hey, give us a timeout. Kevin Mays, they want to stop things, slow things up a little bit, catch their breath as everything was going pretty quick right there for West Nassau. And no doubt they found a rhythm ever since that big play on 3rd and 21.
And that's what it usually takes. You need a spark. They were able to get the spark on the 3rd and forever situation, and now what you notice is they're keeping the chains in manageable situations. There's no long yardage. They're throwing. They're using their short passing game as an extension of the run game and just being able to methodically move down the field.
8:42 to go in the first half. 7-0 our score. Baker County leads it here in McClenny, our Action Sports Shacks game of the week, but West Nassau is driving. This is a good one now. They got 15-yard line, 2nd and 7, but like Micah just said, they've been staying on schedule on this drive and able to get first down after first down, and now here's a bid to get them in the end zone and tie this football game up potentially in the first half. The rotating quarterback system, we've seen both for West Nassau. Paget currently in the game. Blaze Paget, the senior, 6'3", 180 pounds. Ethan John split out to the right. Couple receivers left. Legarius Johnson's been running the last few plays and fake the handoff. They throw on the left side. Is it a touchdown? It looks to be. It is a touchdown for Zorian Stanton. They gave him a chance to make a play on the football at the pylon. He does it, and it's 7-6. West Nassau's on the board.
A little slant wheel action again, once again, and that was a perfect pass right on the back shoulder, right over the cornerback's left ear. Great completion, great hands going up and getting at the high point and bringing it down for the touchdown.
That's funny you say great hands. That's exactly what Ricky Armstrong said about Zorian Stanton. He can really catch a football, and you can see it right there. So now the extra point to tie things up early. Snap, the hold, the kick, and go chase that out of a backyard here in McClenny, because that one cleared everything, and we're all tied up at 7. Don't you love that, by the way? No nets here, right? Look at, I mean, the goalposts, they're like old school goalposts here. This is so much fun, right? I mean, you kick it over the school bus,
right?
And you kick it into some lady's backyard.
Yes, and she's a
really
right
nice
back.
lady, by the way. Hopefully she throws it and has a good arm by now.
Listen, I'm liking how everybody's parked in everybody's yard and nobody's complaining. It's okay, park on my grass.
Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here, our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Few places better to have a Game of the Week than right here in McClenny, Baker County. They do it right on a Friday night, and we're happy to be here, and we've got a good one. We knew it would be, you know. I had a hunch that this one would be good. We've had some fantastic games the last couple of weeks. We went to overtime. Rains beat Sandalwood in walk-off fashion. Lee beat Columbia last week in walk-off fashion here on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Well, here we go again, 7-7, midway through this second quarter. And West Nassau, after a sluggish start, has seemed to find themselves a little bit and even this thing up.
Well, you can tell right now you have two really, really good, well-coached teams right now. Everybody's playing hard. It's clean. They're playing hard, hats to the ball. Guys are making plays, and I'm looking forward to an exciting finish.
So here we go. Let's see if we get a surprise onside kick. We do have an onside kick. It's not really a surprise anymore. That ball's bouncing around. West Nassau had a chance at it, and they just couldn't come up with it. It was beautifully done by William Carroll. That took the perfect bounce for the left side of that kick team for West Nassau. They just couldn't catch the football before it went out of bounds.
Oh, man, great design. They hit 6 over that side. They kind of flooded it a little bit as much as you can. And like you said, had a great second hop, and it's almost like the guy ran in a little bit. If he would have stayed wider in his lane, the ball probably would have came right to him. He could have made the play. I
feel like I'm announcing a video game with Ricky Armstrong. I mean, he's playing like how I'd play Madden.
Listen, I love it. I'll be honest with you. I love it. It's exciting. You're not kicking the ball deep because a lot of bad things can happen in high school there. You're giving your chance a 50-50 chance of getting the ball back and being able to put your offense back on the field.
Well, here's the deal. I almost said how I play Tecmo Bowl with Bo Jackson, but I didn't know if anybody would get it.
All the older people our age, but I'm not sure anyone else.
You know, the young kids are missing out on a lot of things. That's what old people would say. But they really are missing out on playing Tecmo Bowl with Bo Jackson.
Yes.
I mean, you got to try to do that once.
Yes, they need to experience that. I'm telling my son that when I get home.
All right, we got a conversation going on here. That's a little delay in play, and I'm wondering if they're trying to enforce a penalty because the ball went out of bounds. But I thought it hit a West Nassau player.
It went through his hands, I would say, but it's going to be interesting to see what this call is. And definitely there's a conversation on what happened. Maybe they're trying to determine if someone touched it before it got 10 yards. And it definitely went 10 yards. And it was touched. And
I think after all that, nothing's going to happen.
They just wanted to slow it down a little bit.
I think the ball – they are calling it. All right, I don't know if you could hear that explanation, but they said they do call the false start because the ball went out of bounds. At the 38, they just tack on 5 yards instead of the re-kick, and that's why we're here. So it was a decision by Kevin Mays to make and decided to tack on the 5, which is probably a smart move, right, because you got great field position at the 43.
Right, and then you don't have to worry about trying to catch an onside kick again.
Very true, because you almost know it's coming now from West Nassau. So here we are, Baker County, West Nassau. Good football game, Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, along with Micah Ross, former Jacksonville Jaguar player, former JU Dolphin. And happy to be out here in McClenny at Baker County High School on a beautiful Friday night in mid-October as the football intensifies in Northeast Florida. It's 7-7 with 8:34 to go, and I think someday we'll run a play. But until then, we have another delay.
Maybe it's the TV time. It's our fault.
I wish they would have told me. I would have taken a break. Here we go, from the 43-yard line. Alex Bowen and Scooby Graham in the backfield. 4 wide receivers set. They spread it out. Graham has it, and great penetration from West Nassau. But he shakes the tackle on the right side, cuts it back to the middle across midfield. Down to the 45-40, 35-30, 25-20. Can he get to the end zone? And he is pushed out of bounds right before he scores on the left side of the football field. What a run by Scooby Graham. Turns a 7-yard loss into a 1st and goal.
Oh, man, that was a spectacular play by Scooby that time. He was able to break the tackle, get to the outside, and finish the run all the way down to the 1-yard line.
So it'll be a 1st and goal. They hurry up and get down there, and the official makes sure everything's all set. But what a fantastic run by Scooby Graham. Hopefully you're watching on the social media platforms and got to see that one. Bowen now says, hey, I'll give it back to you, Scooby. He does. He cuts it into the end zone. And it's a 2-play drive, 57 yards, and it's all Scooby Graham. Number 5 does the work. And that was a quick response by Baker County.
Oh, man, quick. That's what you want on offense. And that time it was all Scooby, and he was able to break a tackle on the first run, where he's showing right now his strength and his vision and being able to outrun most of the defenders.
That might be a nominee for our Friday Night Blitz play of the week. Coming up later tonight on Fox 30 and CBS 47. The kick is up and good for Baker County, and it's a 14-7 lead for the Wildcats. And like we mentioned, what a nice response. All Scooby Graham. I mean, that's a sensational play. It'll be a tough one to beat on a Friday night. They don't make them better than that.
Oh, no, great job. And what I like about it is he was able to show his strength and his vision, and he brought the ball back to the other side, and then he just went right through the middle of the defense and just ran. And you want to respond when teams come back out and you make adjustments. They made an adjustment, West Nassau, and then Baker County came back with their own adjustment and came back and scored.
You know, you bring up a good point because I think you see that run, right? We see that in football sometimes. Like in the NFL now, it's impossible to do that play. Everybody's so fast that you can't beat them. But in high school, you do see it. But a lot of times people will bring it all the way to the other side of the field. You mentioned the vision of Scooby Graham. He kind of said, you know what, I got a lane right in the middle. Why run that much? And he did. And he just couldn't route race everybody, but almost did all the way down to the 1-yard line. Finished it off a play later. Scooby Graham, spectacular for Baker County here in the first half. 8:14 to go. Now we got a kickoff and another pooch attempt as we don't want to mess around with returns here in Baker County today for either team. And Baker County West Nassau will jump on it. They'll get about the 35-yard line. And everybody's just happy on special teams to play from the 35s.
And both teams have pretty much the same game plan to not get beat on the deep returns and keep the ball in. And both offenses have got caught a little fire right now. They're moving the ball effectively. Let's see which defense now can make the right adjustment to be able to stop it.
So West Nassau will get the football at their own 35-yard line and try to respond to that quick Baker County drive, the all Scooby Graham drive. And West Nassau comes out with Chaz Hirschman. It's his turn to play quarterback. They're going to put trips on the left side, a receiver to the right. The officials get us all straightened out, and here we go. 8:09 to go in the first half. West Nassau with the football. They spin it out to the left. It's Ethan Johns. Catches a low ball, spins now on the far sideline. He found some room, and then we got a late penalty coming up. That's a late hit. That'll be 15 more yards. How about the explosiveness of Johns? He spun and still found room on the sideline.
I mean, he's electric. Every time he touches the ball, it looks like he can go the distance. And as you can see, West Nassau are using those weapons now. They're getting those guys out in space. They continue to get wide and out to the perimeter. And that time, if it wasn't for the safety that was able to make the play on him and get a penalty, that probably would have been another touchdown.
Fun to watch right now here at Baker County High School. I mean, we're going back and forth, kind of a slower start, and then all of a sudden things have really heated up, and we're seeing some talent out on this football field at Baker County High School. 14-7 our score. Wildcats lead at 8:01 to go in the first half. Now the ball on the 43-yard line of Baker County after the penalty and the play, and Roche gets the handoff just a couple yards down to the 40.
And football is a game of adjustments, and it's going to be interesting to see for the remainder of these last 7 minutes of the second quarter and at halftime which team is going to make the right adjustments. They're kind of evenly matched. There's nothing really overly out-glaring on either team. West Nassau has some good athletes, but let's see who's going to make the first adjustment.
4 wide receivers set. Hirschman has it out of the shotgun. Bobbles the snap and then throws it left, has the receiver. It's the tight end on the far side, right in front of his own bench. Picks up maybe a handful of yards down to the 35, and it will set up a 3rd and short, once again on schedule.
Yep, staying on schedule. Get the short completions. Those are the easiest passes for the quarterback to complete. Get it out to the receivers, and receivers are picking up yards. And what West Nassau is trying to do, they're trying to bait those defensive backs to come up and get in pressure and then try to go back over the top and see if they can get a big one.
Absolutely. They might be setting that up. That's Eli Canode, by the way, the tight end, heavily involved here in the first half. It's a few catches for number 85. So it brings up a 3rd and 3. They have to get it to the 32. They're on Baker County's side of the football field. Send a man in motion. Hirschman sprints out to the right after the snap. Looks for a receiver, has a receiver. Down to the 30, it's a first down. And the 28, that's Chaz Davis. Another guy they like to get the football to, and he picks up a handful, good enough for a first down.
That was a little sprint action, a good play call. Got Chaz out in space. He was able to make the completion and pick up another first down for West Nassau.
Tell you what, they'll keep the defense honest now. West Nassau, they'll throw a little bit of everything. And you talked about adjustments. They went from double wing to spread, and they found out double wing didn't work, so they went to the spread exclusively now here in the second quarter. And it's worked for them. Trips to the left. Hirschman gets a snap. Throws it to Canode, the tight end. Has it. Still on his feet now. Down to the 20 and 18, 17-yard line. There's a flag thrown, so we'll see what happens on the play. But it's another first down at the moment for West Nassau.
Yeah, and it looks like they're just going to continue to try to throw receiver screens, try to outflank the defense, and try to make good plays. And right now, West Nassau is in a rhythm.
Let's see what the penalty is. Saw the official point to the head. And let's see what we have. I think it is targeting, or at least a blow to the head, if you will.
Wow.
Against Baker County.
And I saw the defender come in, and I saw the flag. I didn't think that was going to be the call, but in today's era of safety and making sure players don't get hurt, they're going to throw that flag every time.
You know, what's interesting is I saw it too, and I knew what the official was looking at, but I'm almost wondering if he whiffed.
That's what I thought.
You know? We'd have to look
missed.
at it again. Yeah. And you can, of course, check it out on the social media platforms. All right, so anyway, sets up a 1st and goal at the 9. Hirschman has it now. Zone has a player, and a touchdown. Who is it on this far side? Is that Davis again?
Yeah, that's Davis. It's a flag on him.
Oh, we got a flag, though. In the month of October, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's an offensive penalty now, so that will wipe away a touchdown. But we have this mixture in Northeast Florida of pink flags and yellow flags. I kind of like it.
Yes. The October time is Breast Cancer Awareness, and everyone's wearing pink, and always that time of season. But right now, what you see West Nassau is doing is nothing really fancy. They're just throwing a bubble, receiver screen, and then once the defender starts committing, and they just go over the top with the bubble and go. So what the adjustment is going to be? How is Baker County going to defend it? Are they going to bring another guy up? Are they going to play a little bit of zone where that guy doesn't have to play more than one guy?
Well, costly penalty. Wipes off a touchdown, 15 yards on the face mask. So from the 25, almost picked off now. That one was thrown right in the hands of Baker County, and they dropped it.
Yeah, it's nothing really complicated doing. They went right back to the same play, and they're going to make Baker County defend it. It looked like Baker County was on a 5-man front that time.
Austin Rich there had to go right off his mitts. And now we have a timeout. Hydration break here in Baker County. 14-7 is our score as Baker County is in the lead by a touchdown over West Nassau. Our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
You know where you win games, Dan? In the trenches on Sundays.
Appreciate all your thoughts on this matter.
The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stuttgarts on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Welcome back to live action. We got a double reverse here now. Chaz Davis has the football inside the 20, makes a move 15, down to the 10. Hit pretty hard at the 10. We've got another flag at the end of the play, and that could be a helmet-to-helmet hit. We'll see. But anyway, a big pickup on second down for Chaz Davis from the 24-yard line all the way down to the 10. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here, Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. And now both teams are starting to trade some personal foul penalties down near the goal line. West Nassau actually had a touchdown wiped off the board because of a face mask. And now, down at the 10-yard line, they get an extra 5 yards tacked on and an automatic first down because of a personal foul.
Yeah, and it looked like it might have been another, illegal hit, targeting type play. I'm not sure what happened on that one.
5:45 to go here, first and goal. We'll go back to the double wing now. And Padgett's in the game. And a handoff to Johns. Johns doesn't look like he has a lot of room, and he'll be swallowed up right around the 4-yard line. Maybe gained a yard, and that was it. Baker County all over that double wing formation.
I didn't think they would go back to the double wing, but you're in a goal line situation, and you want to keep it tight and try to make your lineman get foot to foot and try to get a little pin of movement on the ball. But that time, Baker County, they continue to be stout at the middle and not allowing any running room.
5:20 to go in the first half. 14-7. Baker County leads West Nassau, but the Warriors are on the doorstep here. Second and goal from the 4 as some rain falls now out here in McClenny. And a beautiful night temperature-wise, but we did expect we could see some precipitation, and here we are. Second and goal from the 4. Go out of that double wing again. Roche right behind Padgett. And they'll keep it. Padgett will keep it. Has it down to the 3, but that's all they'll get. Baker County defends it well once again, and it'll be third and goal for the Warriors.
And I think actually it's not an automatic first down on a personal foul anymore, so it was actually second down, so this makes fourth down, and they're going to have to kick it.
Oh, good call right there. I got to stop watching the NFL.
Oh, man. You bounce from NFL to college to high school, and the rules changed. Last night we had a kid try to call a fair catch in our game at the 5-yard line.
I know. That's the thing, too, right? I say that all the time, not really for me, as we have another timeout on the field, but it is fourth down now at the 3-yard line, so we'll see what Ricky Armstrong wants to do. But I do say it's kind of one of those weird things. Like, why don't we have uniformity in terms of the rules across high school, college, and the NFL? There's a lot of that doesn't seem to make sense. So much, maybe a rule here or there, but there's so much of it that really is not similar.
Right.
Which, listen, kids grow up now watching the TV, right? College football and the NFL.
Right.
You'd think they would understand the game more if the rules are the same at the high school level.
And I saw the kickoff, and I knew what the kid was doing, and he was like, I called for a catch the ball, and it landed at the 3, so a big turning point. But you're right. The rules different. The rules kind of like a little bit different, and they changed them. And on that series, West Nassau had been doing a great job of moving the ball by spreading the Baker County defense off, and they went back to single in the double wing, and then they were just stopped in the last 2 plays.
Yeah, that double wing has not been effective. Baker County's all over it. So they're not going to bring out the kicking team. West Nassau keeps his offense on the field in that similar formation now. Right. Fourth down and goal from the 3-yard line here in the second quarter. Padgett, the quarterback, under center. Did they get him to jump? No, there's no flag. It looked like some movement on the Baker County line. Now Ricky Armstrong says, I'm going to call timeout again. Maybe I will kick this thing. We'll see. But Armstrong burns the timeout on fourth and goal. After the setup, 4:24 to go in the first half, 14-7 as West Nassau seems like they've been down near the goal line for the last 15 minutes, but a big fourth down play awaits.
And then you got the big tight end, Elijah Canode, and he's singled up outside, and the DB, like DeHaven Clark, probably he probably has, a 6-inch height difference on him. So you wonder, they saw how the defense lined up, they're just going to give a one-on-one chance out there, see if you can go up and make a high-point play.
Yeah, and Ricky Armstrong said that they've been able to utilize the tight end in that way. I mean, if you're going to put him on a cornerback, he's a big fella now.
Right.
And not an easy matchup, so they'll take the one-on-one matchup, and you might exactly be right there that they set that up. We'll see as they come back out. And I don't think they're bringing the kicking team, so they're going to go for it here on fourth down and goal. Once again, Padgett will be the quarterback. Canode now lines up far left. And he will have one-on-one, but that'll be a long throw to make.
He has a height advantage.
So here we go. 4th down and goal from the 3 for West Nassau. Set a man in motion. They hand off to Roche, the fullback, and they didn't fool anybody. Baker County stuffed it down at the 2-yard line. Roche could only get a yard, and that's it for West Nassau. On a promising drive, they turn it over on downs inside the 5-yard line.
You're always supposed to go to the dance with the person. and that time you can see they were doing such an awesome job of spreading them out and getting them in space and letting their athletes work against the Baker County defense. And then you got in the red zone and in the scoring area, and they went back to the double wing, and they just couldn't get any movement on the Baker County defense.
Yeah, 3 plays inside the 5 in that double wing that really hasn't been effective, and they turn it over on down. So here goes Baker County now. They get the football back up by 7 here in the second quarter. They give it to Scooby Graham at the 2, up to the 5. He's got a gain of a couple yards, and that's it. But a little more breathing room for Baker County.
Yeah, they're not in the shadow of their goal line anymore. 4 minutes, you probably just want to kind of eat some of this clock up, get out of your own zone, and if you can pick up a couple of first downs, that'll be great.
4 minutes to go and counting now. In the first half, 14-7, Baker County leads West Nassau in our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. The handoff and a hurdle up to the 7 or 8 yard line for Baker County, and that's Jamarian Baker, who has a touchdown tonight. It'll bring up 3rd down and a few yards for Baker County to try to extend this drive, and they don't want to be punting from down here.
And you want to make sure you just secure the ball in this weather.
Now we got a penalty. And did West Nassau jump again?
I think they did, number 21.
3rd down and a long 4 play. So that will bring up a first down automatically. Second time we've seen this tonight for Baker County as Bowen gets the defense on the hard count. And that's a big one for West Nassau. They were about to get the football back late in the first half potentially. And now it's a new set of downs for the Wildcats. 3.5 to go in the first half. 14-7 Baker County. Bowen now will swing it out. He throws it. It's complete right around the 12 up to the 15-yard line. And that is Joseph Stafford on the catch. Not really much doing.
And all Baker County is trying to do right now is just kind of move the ball out of the shadow of the end zone, give the defense a little bit of break, and if you can break something, you can break.
Ball will be just outside the 15-yard line, so let's call it 2nd and 8. Bowen now hands off to Graham. Graham stretches it to the right side. Now to the 15, 16, up to the 20, and out of bounds on the far side of the football field after a nice patient run. But there's a flag in the land of holding on Baker County.
And Scooby that time was able to bounce it, and probably because the right tackle had a grip on the end on that play.
He lets things develop, though. It's fun to kind of watch him. Everything's slow. And I don't mean slow as a runner. I mean slow developing. He slows down the game.
Very patient. Not as patient as Le'Veon Bell type, but he's definitely waiting and letting his blockers, setting up his blockers and reading it.
It is a holding call, so we'll redo 2nd down, and that will set Baker County back inside their 10-yard line now. As the penalties have picked up here in the last handful of minutes. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross, our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Thanks for checking it out and listening on the radio on ESPN690.com. But you can also watch it on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. It's all right there to see. 2nd down, inside their own 5. Bowen being rushed, has to run away from it. He does. He's flushed across the 10, has some room at 15, the 20, 25, and up to the 30. He's still on his feet near sideline, midfield 40, 30. They didn't make the tackle, and he's going to score on the touchdown run. It's Alex Bowen for another 6 points for Baker County as somehow he broke loose. Nobody caught him, and it's a touchdown.
Wow, that was an amazing run. What was that, now almost 90 yards, but he was able to get to the outside, and once he got around that initial defense, no one's going to catch him.
The field really shrunk on the near side. You're just waiting for somebody to push him out of bounds, and nobody did.
Yes, and on that play, number 17 for Baker County, he made a great block. Austin Crawford made a great block outside on the West Nassau defender and was able to spring him. Yes, but a great job.
You have some flags on the field, so I think it's after the touchdown.
Yes, and once he got to the outside, tremendous run, using his vision, And I thought he was going to run out around that time.
But yeah, there's Crawford around the 40-yard line as we're getting a look at a replay of it. Good block, big block. Offset penalties, by the way, so the touchdown is good. And it looks like that goes for 93 yards for Alex Bowen. And it was not a designed run. I mean, he got flushed out of the pocket, found some room, escaped left, and then had the whole sideline.
Yeah, and that's the plays you want your veteran quarterbacks to make. He saw there was nothing there and kind of Mariota-ish took off and got to the outside, and all you take is man coverage, a breakdown, one good block, and then now he was off to the races.
So Alex Bowen with a 93-yard touchdown run, and it's 20-7 as we await an extra point here at Baker County High School. That's a big play, really a big turn of events late in this first half. As deep in their own end, West Nassau faced a third down on defense. They jump off sides to give a new set of downs. But then that was second and long inside their own 10 after a holding penalty. And Bowen escapes out of the pocket, runs 90-plus for a touchdown, and probably just wanted to run out the clock.
Pretty much.
Late in the first half. Well, the snap, the hold, and the kick is up, and finally we got an extra point, and it's 21-7 Baker County after the big score. We've seen a couple of huge plays from Baker County now. Scooby Graham and Alex Bowen breaking off some big runs, and they've been killers for West Nassau. A big thing for Wildcats, though. They're up 21-7 late in the first half.
Yeah, and you got to think that probably takes, Baker County over 200 yards rushing in the first half. And if you've got 200 yards rushing, you're probably going to be winning the game because that means you're going to be controlling the time of possession and keeping the tempo and keeping that explosive West Nassau offense off the field.
So big turn of events here. It was a touchdown game. Now it's a two-score game. 2:27 to go in the first half. 21-7. Baker County leads it here at home. We have umbrellas out. The rain is falling. Kind of steady rain, but nothing crazy. And we expect that to be the case probably the majority of the night.
And the way Baker County is running the football, they probably say rain, 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 slow them down and let us use our strength.
So Baker County will kick it, and they've just been pooch kicking most. This one's more of a kickoff, though. Lands around the 20-yard line, and Stanton has it. Stanton now will circle across the field up to the 30-35, has some room. He has to beat the kicker, 40-45 across midfield. Well, this is why they haven't kicked it off, because they didn't want to give those guys a chance. Zorian Stanton had a chance, and he made something of it as they will begin in Baker County territory after a nice run by Zorian Stanton.
And that's the reason why they've been pooching it, and they probably try to trick him maybe to kind of kick it over his head, but he went and made a good play. He was able to get the ball, and you can tell West Nassau has some what we call dudes. They got some guys that can play, some guys that can run, and they're just trying to get those guys in space, and anytime they can get their hands on the ball, they have the possibility of taking it all the way to the end zone.
Well, they need those dudes to get in the end zone. They had one touchdown called back because of a penalty on their last possession, and that was a big swing because Baker County scored. So that's a 14-point swing eventually. Now, West Nassau has a chance right before the half to try to get this thing a bit closer. They have it on the 44-yard line of Baker County. Padgett in the game at the quarterback spot, 4 wide receivers. They fake the handoff, and Padgett will keep it and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And once again, the penetration by the Baker County defense, getting inside of the blockers from West Nassau and continue to make plays at the point of contact.
Inside 2 minutes to go now in the first half. West Nassau doesn't need to be in a hurry, at least as of now. They trail 21-7. Second down and 10. Same setup. Roche in the backfield. 2 wide receivers right, 2 left, both stacked on each other. Padgett gets the snap. Throws the ball left. Has a receiver. It's caught, but only for a few yards. A little bubble screen, and that's Chaz Davis once again.
And they're just continuing to try to stay in front of the chains and move the ball, get positive yardage. And with a minute 22 left in the quarter, you got to think, and West Nassau, they don't have a real big sense of urgency. They probably don't want to get the ball back to Baker County.
It's bringing up a third down and about 7 yards with a minute 10 to go. You get the first down, you obviously will get going a little quicker here on offense, but I think you're right. I don't want to give the football back with too much time on the clock. Third down and 7 from the 41. Fake it to Roche. Have it over the middle, and the ball is tipped and caught, though. It is caught by the tight end, and that's Canode.
He was fortunate that time. The defender from Baker County got his hands on it, but it tipped ball and it was landed in Canode. He did a good job of securing it and getting in the pocket. Now you're going to see West Nassau get to the line of scrimmage. It's under 50 seconds, and they're still trying to get the play in. You want a little tempo here.
Yeah, they need to move a little quicker now. The ball's at the 31-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Padgett's still looking at his sideline. Everybody's got their hands up. 35 seconds in, counting. Padgett fakes the handoff. Now looks down, left side of the field. It's going to give a receiver a chance to make a play. It's caught, but I believe out of bounds on the far side of the football field. Incomplete. Nice catch by Stanton, but it falls incomplete.
And it was 52 seconds when they blew that, and it's down to 28 seconds. So probably a couple of plays there they might miss out on, just from kind of like not getting going.
Well, it's 2nd down and 10. It does stop the clock with 28 seconds to go. 21-7 is our score. Baker County leads by 2 scores here at home in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross. West Nassau with the football at Baker County's 31. Fake handoff. Now they look deep again, and there's a little miscommunication. That had no chance. Incomplete. 3rd down, 24 seconds to play.
You got to think West Nassau doesn't have any timeout, so they're not. You can't. The clock stops with a 1st down, but you really don't want to be running down the middle and trying to complete it because you might not have enough time to get off another play.
So it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 31-yard line of Baker County. 24 seconds to go in a 2-score game. West Nassau could really use some points here going into the half. Jazz Davis out right, along with Centauri Mitchell. Zorian Stanton up top. Sprint right by Padgett. He looks down the field, has a receiver. It's Davis. Touchdown, Davis. Caught around the 3, and he scores. Beautifully designed, well executed. Padgett to Davis for 6.
A little smash concept on the outside just ran a simple corner route and was able to get by the defender and catch the touchdown. And that's the play that West Nassau needed with 17 seconds left in the half to get back into this ballgame.
That's a big play right there for West Nassau on 3rd down, where it didn't look like they had much going. And they get in the end zone to make it a 1-score game. Extra point upcoming.
And tremendous job that time. They did a little semi-rollout to the right side and found the receiver in the end zone.
The snap, the hold, the kick is all good. And that is Will Carroll once again with the extra point. And we've got ourselves a 21-14 football game. Big score by the Warriors to make this a game and set up probably a pretty entertaining second half.
I'm excited about the second half. Both of these offenses are getting it going. We've had 5 touchdowns in the first half. Both teams are playing well. They're well disciplined, and it's going to be an exciting finish to this game.
Keep in mind, it's a 21-14 game in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. West Nassau trails by a touchdown to Baker County, and they had a touchdown wiped off the board because of a penalty. So it's that close to being even up, or maybe even a West Nassau lead, because, well, that wiped off touchdown ended up resulting in an Alex Bowen 90-plus yard touchdown run at the
So a little strategy here. Do you onside kick it again? Do you kick it deep? What's the play? I say you
kick it out of bounds.
I would kick it onside again, because even if they get it, all the big plays, most of the big plays for Baker County has been on the ground running.
Well, Carroll will kick. The last time he had a beautiful onside kick. They just couldn't catch it.
Same look.
And here we go, the onside kick. It takes a couple of bounces, and nice job by Baker County to be able to bring that one in. Not an easy play, but DeHaven Clark was right there for it. That was one of those tricky in-between bounces, and he was able to capture it.
Yeah, DeHaven did a great job of fielding that ball. That's why you get your semi-hands crew on there, the guys that are used to handling the ball and catching it. And now you're at the 45-yard line, 15 seconds. You got to think that although that's good field position, like you said, Baker County has been running the ball, and they haven't taken a lot a deep shots.
You got to get set up with Scooby Graham on a screen or something, right? You get it in number 5's hands, and at least give it a whirl, right?
And that's the first play. You're going to try to get him out in space and see if he can create something.
Well, here we go from the 46-yard line. Let's see if Baker County can take advantage of the latest onside kick in good field position. 15.8 seconds to go in the first half. 21-14 is our score. Trips left. Bowen is just going to swing it out to Scooby Graham. He's got it back at his own 39, now up to the 45, near midfield, and he'll go down inbounds at the 49-yard line of West Nassau, and Kevin Mays will call a timeout. with about 5 seconds to go. He might even ask for more time to be put on the clock. We'll see if that happens.
And in today's age of football, with all the spread offenses and all the different things that teams are doing to kind of like sometimes trick the defense and outflank them, it all boils down to blocking and tackling. And when you have good athletes, if the defenders can come up and make tackles just like they just did just then, you'll be successful. And if you on the vice versa, if you can block and get your better athletes in space and be able to break tackles, and you'll score. And that's what's amazing about high school football. You don't really have a lot of time to go over tackling and blocking because kids are in school and they're doing all these different things. But the teams that can focus on those aspects of the game usually are the most successful.
All right, so Alex Bowen to bring the offense out. Ball's on the 49-yard line. You're going to put a little bit of time back on the clock, I think, 9 seconds back on the clock. So there's actually time to maybe do a quick play, get you a few more yards, and set up a Hail Mary attempt. We'll see what they choose to do. Scooby Graham back there with Bowen in the backfield. 4 wide receiver set. 9 seconds to go. Ball on the 49-yard line of West Nassau. Bowen looks down the field, throws down the middle, has a receiver, Tracy White. He catches it, bounces off a tackle at the 20, inside, still on his feet at the 18, and down to the 15, but he ran out of time. He did such a great job of avoiding being tackled that he ran out of time, and the clock has struck 0. And unless they add more time, that's going to do it for the first half. A beautiful play by Tracy White. It was a great catch. But he almost needed to hit the deck quicker
right,
to preserve one more play in the half.
I know. A great job, extra effort, but you got to know the time and game situation on that play.
Heck, the way he was bouncing off tacklers, he probably thought he was going to get in. Forget about the time on the clock. And a really good effort and a fun first half of football. That will do it for the first 2 quarters here in Baker County. 21-14 our score. The Wildcats lead West Nassau on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Our halftime show and, of course, the second half on the way right after this.
Away from the football field, Jags players like to hang out at Topgolf. So we decided, what if we put football and Topgolf together for the Jags players? We call it Jags Report Live. It's the newest show in Jacksonville, and you are invited to our weekly Topgolf party, Mondays at 7 p.m. Meet Jaguars players, talk football. If you come for the show, buy an hour in a Topgolf bay and get an hour free. Bring the family, your friends, and we'll meet you there. Action Sports Jacks Jags Report Live, Mondays at 7 p.m. at Topgolf on CBS 47.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone. It's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the West Side and in Fleming Island.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
It's here like an avalanche of savings.
Rocks, big ones, little ones, all beautiful and all one of a kind.
Rocktober.
Yes, all of our GIA certified diamonds are on sale this week only.
And only at Beard's Diamonds.
Get her the rock she's always wanted and take an extra 20% off Beard's Diamonds' already unbeatable prices.
Rocktober.
It's your chance to buy like the dealers buy.
Choose from half carat to 10 carat at prices never before seen.
Beard's Diamonds Rocktober, this week only.
Choose from North Florida's largest inventory at the lowest prices.
Rounds, ovals, princess cuts, pear shapes, cushion cuts, even fancy yellow diamonds.
All GIA certified and on sale.
Now's the time to get a bigger, better rock.
Rocktober.
This week only.
And only at Beard's Diamonds.
Where exceptional is affordable. In the St. John's Town Center and at beardsdiamonds.com.
Now, the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week halftime show. Here's Brent Martineau.
That was a fun first half of action here in McClenny. Baker County hosting West Nassau. 21-14 is our halftime score. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. And halftime festivities continue with the band getting ready for a big halftime performance. Now, we had a pretty big performance in the first two quarters by both of these teams. Saw some explosiveness.
Yeah, we started off a little bit slow with a little filling out process, and once Baker County was able to scratch and get on the scoreboard, you see both teams started opening up and doing what they're good at. First, it started off with Scooby getting the ball in space and being able to break tackles, and he's over 100 yards. Baker Corner quarterback also, he was able to have a 93-yard run and was getting all the way to the end zone. And then you see what West Nassau was good at. They got the ball out to their receivers. They managed the sticks. They kept it in short yardage, and they kept going back to the wheel route out the backfield and out the slot. So interesting job, exciting what both teams were able to do in the first half.
And we talked about it really in our Lusab Honda the Avenues keys to the game. It's really just getting it into your playmakers' hands for both teams. Essentially, obviously, you don't want to turn it over. You don't want to do any of those things, most teams would say. But the rotating quarterback system for West Nassau has been effective, partly because they have all these weapons on the outside. And we saw that really they had to stick with that spread. When they went to the double wing, it wasn't effective. When they went down to the goal line, they tried to go back to the double wing. That wasn't effective. Baker County's been all over that formation. And you're thinking adjustments at halftime, it would be like whenever it starts with double wing, throw it out the window at least for the rest of the night. Wouldn't you be thinking that?
That would be my guess. And of course, I'm not on the West Nassau staff, but it just hasn't been effective tonight. And sometimes, sometimes you have to go away from your bread and butter. And you got to go with what's working, and what's working is being able to get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly, get into the receiver's hand, and they're in stalk blocking, doing a good job of stop blocking and blocking on the perimeter, and getting those 5- and 6-yard gains. And then once the defense starts to commit up, throwing it on the outside and getting bigger plays.
Well, meanwhile, on the other side of things, you mentioned it, Scooby Graham. I mean, how fun was he to watch? And Alex Bowen, we didn't expect to see his legs be a difference here tonight, but that 90-plus yard touchdown run, that was a big, big play. What it looked like, it would really give Baker County a comfortable lead going into halftime. So you have to give credit to West Nassau for responding. But two huge plays, Bowen from 93, and then the great run by Scooby Graham that got him down to the 1-yard line. That was a 2-play drive, and it was all Scooby Graham. Big play capability, like we said, by both teams.
Yep. What adjustment's going to be made? It's going to be interesting in the second half. Who's going to make the key plays? And like we said, Baker County's been in this position. They've been in close games this year. They been able to finish some and came close. So you're going to see, will that muscle memory, those will you be able to make the plays when you need to be successful to win the game?
4-3 Baker County, 6-1 West Nassau. The Wildcats lead the West Nassau Warriors here at halftime, 21-14. It's our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll try to get you some scores from around the area. There's a good one brewing between Bartram Trail and Oakley. So we'll update you on some of those, plus some scores from last night. We had Thursday night football. It's all coming up on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Our Game of the Week from McClenny. Baker County leads West Nassau 21-14.
Friday nights, we bring the high school football to you on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with our Game of the Week. We don't just cover one school, a different game every week. Listen to the call of the game on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com. Watch the video of the game live on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just look us up on Action Sports Jacks or ESPN 690. It's our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week, and it leads into the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30 on Fox 30 and 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Ace is celebrating their 95th birthday with sale prices for you. Ace pleated air filters, assorted sizes, buy 2, get 1 free. Bird seed, just $9.99 per bag for 40 pounds of wild bird food. Or 20 pounds of black oil sunflower seed. Fortify your turf from the cold with Fertilome Winterizer. Now $17.99 per bag. Shop the 95th anniversary sale abration at your neighborhood Ace. For additional sale items, visit jacksace.com. Get it delivered by shopping at acehardware.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone. It's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the West Side and in Fleming Island.
Now, the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week halftime show. Here's Brent Martineau.
21-14 our score. Baker County leads West Nassau in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. And as you can tell, the Baker County band, they got it all set up here in McClenny, putting on a good show at halftime. We've had a good show in the first 2 quarters. Can't wait for the next 2. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here on ESPN 690. Thanks for checking us out on the audio side in your car or on ESPN690.com. But also you can watch video of the game on YouTube, our Action Sports Jacks channel. Also on Facebook on Action Sports Jacks and ESPN 690. And on my Twitter feed at Brent A.S. Jacks if you want to check out some of the video. And who knows, we might be headed to another fantastic finish. We've had 2 straight weeks with overtime walk-off wins. We might be on our way to another one.
Hey, it might be a fantastic finish here, 21-14. Both teams are showing the ability to be able to score the ball, and defense has been good at times, but I'm looking forward to seeing how the second half is going to go.
We have some good football games going on around the area. This one's 21-14, Baker County over West Nassau. Sandalwood, meanwhile, is playing Mandarin tonight. Mandarin has a 14-6 halftime lead. How about Oakleaf and Bartram Trail tied at 14 at the half? That's a big one, a big game in District 8A. And 14-14 is the score at halftime in that game. Also, have some scores from last night. A lot of Thursday night action. You mentioned Atlantic Coast was in action as well. And I'm going to get you some of the scores here. If you missed
the bad Coast won that one.
The bad Coast. Of course, Micah helps out with the football team and also is the basketball coach, and that's firing up here pretty soon as well. But here's some of the scores from last night. Jackson beat Inglewood 25-21. First Coast 28-0 over Atlantic Coast. Parker 35-10 over Middleburg. Episcopal 42, Paxson 0. Rains beat Yulee 40-0. Ribault 46-0 over Stanton. The big game of the night was Trinity Christian and Lee, and the Conquerors got a big win because they've had a tough schedule. Their record is not good, and they need to do a little work to make the postseason, and that one should help them a lot. A 21-12 win over a very good Lee team who we had last week on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week. Westside beat Ed White 35-24, and how about the job Coach DeBose continues to do? Westside having a very nice season. And speaking of pretty good job, well, Wolfson wins again, 38-10 over Bishop Snyder. A Wolfson team that really has struggled in recent years. A lot of turnover at the coaching position. They're now 6-2 here in 2019. So congratulations to Wolfson on another W. So we had a bunch of Thursday games. Here we are on a Friday night in McClenny, Baker County. What a great scene here at halftime. Obviously some nice performances, and it's been a good performance on the field by a couple of really good football teams. West Nassau 6-1, Baker County 4-3. A lot of tradition at both places, and one of the best spots in Northeast Florida to watch football. We're happy to have you along with us on a Friday night. Handful of minutes or so to go until the second half. We'll take another timeout. 21-14, Baker County leads West Nassau in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
Golick and Wingo are coming to Jacksonville for the Florida-Georgia game.
Well, hey, it's Mike Golick, and want to invite you to come watch us do our show live from Intuition Ale Works.
What better way could you spend your Friday morning? Take your time, we'll wait. Well, looks like we'll be seeing you at Intuition Aleworks. Everyone's invited, but only a few will get the VIP treatment.
To register for your chance to win VIP passes, go to ESPN690.com.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the West Side and in Fleming Island.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CRV, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Florida. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Florida's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
You're listening to the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Now, back to the action. Here's Brent Martineau.
Tremendous halftime performance here at Baker County High School in McClenny, as the Wildcats also had a pretty good performance in the first half on the football field. They lead 21-14 in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau along with Micah Ross, former JU Dolphin, former Jacksonville Jaguar, now the head basketball coach at Atlantic Coast High School, and hoop season starting up soon, right, man?
Yep, November 4th, we're going to get it started and get ready for another campaign, Your Ex.
We got a little pipeline now coming out of Atlantic Coast. Former coach there, Kevin Sullivan, in the booth with us for these games of the week. And I guess we just got to stop off there, find some talent along the way.
Yep.
We might just replace Sully. Now, you might have it.
The old ball coach won't let me.
A little Wally Pip action.
Oh, no. You injured. You can't lose your job.
A little Minshew mania.
Right. Oh, you're going to have to make a decision in a couple of weeks, huh?
So we might have to, too. The postseason is coming soon.
Hey.
Who are we going to ride in the playoffs? We'll have to figure that out. But anyway, having some fun out here at Baker County High School. Once again, we appreciate everybody out here in Baker County, tremendous hosts, and the hospitality this afternoon. We had our radio show out here from 3 to 6 and kind of hung out with the guys, and they were cooking some food, chicken and rice, and they just do it right out here in Baker County. From all the people in town that love the high school football, that come out and support the high school football, police escort from the high school, which is just a couple of miles away, out here to Memorial Stadium for the football games here at home. And pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool scene is what Friday nights are really all about, and they do it right out here in Baker County. 21-14 is our score. The Wildcats lead it by a touchdown, 2.5 minutes or so away from getting going in the second half. Do want to give a shout-out to Ricky Armstrong, the head coach at West Nassau. He was this week's Baker Sports Coach of the Week, and he has this Warrior team 6-1. They're only lost to a very good Lee football team, 33-14 earlier in the year. And you know what happens when you're 6-1, you lose that one. You're playing good football now. You almost wish you could go back and try that one again, right?
I know you want to wish you could play that team again and see if you can have a different result.
Yeah, now Lee's good, but I think Coach Armstrong probably would like to try that again. They were down a couple players too at the time, and some of it's just timing and how you're playing at the time. But still, nonetheless, they've been playing really good football. 6-1 on the season for West Nassau. So Ricky Armstrong, our latest Coach of the Week, Baker Sports Coach of the Week. We introduce you to that every single week on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Baker Sports, homegrown, ready to help the home team look good on Friday nights and every night in any sport. Baker Sports has been doing just that since 1997. Screen print, embroidery, and trophies all done in-house right here in Jacksonville. Baker Sports will get you ready for your big game. Looking good so you can play good. Play ball with your team experts at Baker Sports. We appreciate Baker Sports. We appreciate Lusab Honda, The Avenues, and Mr. Chubby's Wings for their support of this high school football endeavor. Our game of the week, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. As we get set for the second half, all right, man, you're in that locker room on each side. We talked about one of the changes, right? Throw the double wing playbook away because the spread's been working for West Nassau.
Right. And on offense, West Nassau really should go back to what they were doing in the first half. Short passing game, using that as an extension of their run game and just stay in front of the chains and keep moving. Listen, 3 yards, 4 yards, leave yourself in third and short situations so you can sneak in some of the run and keep Baker County honest and make them have to play to run in the pass. And for Baker County, keep doing what you're doing. Keep giving it to Scooby. Let him be your workhorse. Over 100 yards in the first half. Continue to feed him and continue to just wear down the West Nassau defense during that 3-3-5 look and make them walk a guy up, and then you can throw the ball over the top of it.
I just want to let you know I'm showing a tremendous amount of restraint not making a Scooby-Doo reference. All right?
I'm not going to say it hasn't come to my mind about 3, 4, 10 times already.
I'm just sure the young man's heard it before.
Right.
So trying not to be that guy. But I might get there by the end of the night. We'll see how long this second half lasts. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross here on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Justin Kuzart back in the studio pushing all the buttons. We appreciate him producing each and every Friday night and really each and every day on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 as we're ready to go in the second half. 21-14 our score. Baker County in the lead and kicking off to West Nassau. West Nassau will go right to left and ready for one of these pooch kicks most likely. This one a little deeper, taken at the 24-yard line and brought back to the 30, the 35. Chaz Davis, who's been very effective, out to the 39-yard line. So very good field position most of the evening by both teams after kickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, Baker County actually had a few times after a few punts, they had poor field position and they were able to score. But for the most part, they've been starting off around the 4 line, and let's see who's made some major adjustments and what are going to be the different things they're going to do to try to capitalize and move the ball.
West Nassau will start at their own 39-yard line, trailing by a touchdown. They got a big score right before the half to get them back in this football game, and kind of a bonus possession considering they get the football first here in the second half. They'll come out with Chaz Hirschman at quarterback as the rotation at the QB spot continues. That's nothing new. They've been doing that all season. 4 wide receiver set. Hirschman looks right. He wants to spit it out to Legarius Johnson. He does. It's complete around the 35. And Johnson just fighting and trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he can't do it. It'll be a loss of 2.
And they're trying to get the screen and use it, but what's happening is the timing is not very fast, so the ball is getting out a little slow. And Baker County defenders are able to read it and adjust and run to the ball.
That'll drop him back to the 37-yard line, bring up 2nd and 12 after the first play of the second half. Johnson in the backfield with Hirschman. Gets a snap. Hirschman looking down the field. Has Davis right about the 39 and a nice open field tackle. Not much doing, just a 4-yard gain back to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 3rd and long.
And once again, great tackling. We talked about it in the first half. Just coming up, playing your position. They threw the drag route, zero route crosser over the middle, and the defender was able to come over and just make the sure tackle.
They'll give him a yard on the play. So we'll call it 3rd and 9 here. First possession of the second half. West Nassau has it going right to left. Visiting team down a touchdown here at Baker County. 4 wide receivers. Shotgun. Hirschman has it. Looks right. Trying to find a receiver, but he overthrows everybody. No doubt some miscommunication as Ethan Johns was the closest to it. But on the first possession, West Nassau will have to punt. Baker County does a nice job.
And Baker County did a great job, but then West Nassau kind of helped them out. Anytime they've gotten into a longer passing situation, they've gone with the wheel route concept, or either out of the slot or the running back. And that time, they just kind of went with almost like a vertical with a hitch, and it was a miscommunication with the receiver and the quarterback.
Too much hitch and not enough vertical, at least for Hirschman. Now the punt, and the snap is awful. Somehow, Will Carroll's able to get that football off, and it's actually a halfway decent kick. I don't know how he got that. And now the West Nassau Warriors are running with the football, but the officials have ruled this down at the 38-yard line.
It was pretty close. I mean, is that a beanbag out there?
They're saying did it hit a Baker County player?
It was really close. I mean, I see a beanbag. I see a pink beanbag. So
they give it to Baker County. So the Wildcats will have the football.
Yeah, and there's certain calls that you make as a returner to let them know that's a short kick and, get away and all those different things. But, it was fortunate that for Baker County that it didn't touch their own player.
So they'll have it at the 38-yard line. But back to Will Carroll. What a job he did. I mean, that ball was rolled back to him. So he was under pressure, and I have no idea how it wasn't blocked. And he still got a pretty good kickoff, given the situation.
And it's amazing that when you think about the athletes that receivers are and some of those punters, and you rarely see a punter like let a ball get by him or drop a ball, and you got receivers drop them all the time. So those guys are athletes back there. They're football players.
So Baker County comes out in the second half. First possession up by a touchdown. 10.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 4 wide receivers set for Bowen. Bowen gives it to Scooby Graham. He spins away from the tackle. Across the 45, the midfield. Now just back inside to the 45. A little jump step. And what a run by Scooby Graham. This guy's fun to watch.
Tremendous run. He broke the initial defender. And West Nassau, we see the first adjustment. They came out in cover 0. And everybody was in 5 yards in the box. And he still was able to make a play, a jump cut, and bring a tackle for a big run.
So a big run. 17 yards for Scooby Graham to start the second half, and they're in West Nassau territory, Baker County now. Graham in the backfield. Bowen gets it, looking downfield, and good coverage on the play. That ball falls incomplete. Centuri Mitchell on the coverage, and not a chance for that one to be complete.
And once again, like you said, everybody on the defensive team for the West Nassau Warriors were within 5 yards, and now that's going to force Baker County to have to go over the top. And they're still in cover 0. As you can see, cover 0, there's no safety. So if it's man on man, everybody's coming.
Trips right, single receiver left. Scooby Graham has it in the backfield, and he gets tripped up in the backfield. To your point, they're loading up that box, and it worked that time for the West Nassau defense.
Yep, man. They came out and made a good adjustment, and now all those receivers on the outside, they're like, oh, man, I'm man coverage. There's nobody in the middle of the field but a referee. Throw me the ball so I can hit my head on the goalpost.
So from the 45-yard line, it'll be 3rd and 11. Trips right, a single receiver left. Bowen sprints out to the right. Has a receiver picked off almost. No, it's not picked off, but wow, that was close by Stanton.
I thought it was too. I thought it was too.
It looked like Stanton had it. Somehow just escaped his hands, but he breaks up the play nonetheless around the 42-yard line. And after the big play by Scooby Graham to start the drive, 3 downs and nothing doing for Baker County. Bowen will have to punt it away.
And even with the big play that Scooby made in the first run, he broke a tackle, and it was an unblocked guy was in the hole for a 4-yard loss. So that's the first adjustment. And now we got to go on the sideline for Baker County and draw up, say what we're going to do, what are our man beaters.
Chaz Davis back around his 13-yard line. Bowen gets it away. Kick to the right side, and the ball dies like Micah Ross's sandwich around the 18. And that's where West Nassau will take over. So really nice job by Bowen there. Inside the 20, no return.
And
And
late
we do have
flag,
a flag late.
Very late flag. I think it's going to be a blindside block. Interesting, though, and that flag came in pretty late. So, once again, you're looking for the yellow flags in this breast cancer awareness October. They're in pink.
I call an illegal block on the back. So this will put West Nassau in tough field position to start this possession. So that really worked out well for Bowen and Baker County. They win the field position battle here early in the third quarter. 9:18 to go in the third. 21-14 is our score. Baker County in the lead. West Nassau now will have the football and start this possession at their own 8-yard line. Brent Martineau, along with Micah Ross on our Action Sports Shacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. And it looks like we're going to have a good one. So once again, just a friendly reminder, you can check the game out on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks, on YouTube, our Action Sports Jacks channel, on Facebook, ESPN 690. And if you do the video game stuff and you have Twitch, you can even check it out there, ESPN 690 Jacks. We might be the only high school football game in the country that's on Twitch. I don't know. Maybe we're not. All right, here we go. West Nassau has it. A little handoff to Roche, the fullback, trying to just get some breathing room, and he picks up a couple of yards, and that's it, as Paget will be the quarterback on this possession for West Nassau.
And I just like how physical and stout the Baker County defense is on the point of attack on those running plays. They're just not giving any room to run for the West Nassau running backs.
Couple yard gain brings up 2nd and 8. As West Nassau just trying to get a little breathing room deep in their own end, trailing by a touchdown, and you don't want to make a mistake down here now that you have it a 7-point game.
And I say go to your tight end. He has a 5'5" guy on him, and you got to use him.
They go across the middle of the field on a little RPO, and Ethan Johns has it, catching it out of the slot. It's complete up to about the 18-yard line. Be close to a first down, but not quite there. So it will be third, and I would say inches.
Can you move the ball and move the line of scrimmage and get a yard? That's the question right here.
Let's just call a QB sneak here.
Yeah, you just got to lean forward.
Now the officials might even measure this thing as they stop play with 8:19 to go in the third quarter. 21-14 game, Baker County in the lead. And you know what? They said, hey, that's a first down.
Yeah, they gave him the first down, and that's good for West Nassau because now they get a fresh set of downs. They have some breathing room, and now the playbook kind of expands and opens. You can do a little bit more now.
Somebody's got laser eyes down there. So that's a first down. Trips to the right. Here's Paget. He swings it out to Davis. Davis catches it, makes a cut back to the 20-25. On his feet still on his feet across the 30 and 35 as he put a hand down but kept his balance. Beautiful play by Davis, and he's showing off the quicks there.
Yeah, you got to get the ball in his hands. He's electric with it, and he just continued to just get the ball, and it's a great block. That's the part that you won't see in the stats, but the block by the receiver on the outside, being able to push this guy in.
18-yard pickup, fast they go, a little option pitch to Johns. Johns has it now the 40, and if he could have broken a tackle, it would have been game over. Instead, he fumbles the football at the latter end of the play. They call him down, and I think that's the correct call, even though the Baker County fans didn't like it.
It definitely was a close play, and he blew the whistle, but they went back to the double wing, but that time they did a little option read off of it, and they sucked the defense up, and you were able to outflank them.
All right, what do you think, Micah? We're getting a look here at the replay. We got great technology here in Baker County.
That's close.
I think he was down. Paget has it now. He gives it to Stanton. Stanton, bubble screen out to midfield, and that ball is loose and fumbled away. And does Baker County come away with it? After the big hit, Stanton lost it. Who has the football? I think it's Baker County at the 46-yard line. Still waiting. And yes, they do. Baker County has it. Now we have a couple of flags on the play after some extracurricular activities. We've got yellow flags, pink flags, all the flags. But Baker County has the football after the fumble and a big turnover for the Wildcats.
And in football, that's why we were talking about in the first half. You had Baker County had a bunch of guys pursuing the ball. It's not the first guy that gets there. It's the second guy that comes in and lays the hit, and it was a great hit. And the defender was able to put his helmet right on the back of him and cause a fumble.
So now we'll see what all the laundry has to do. I think we're going to have offsetting personal fouls.
Yeah, and what happened was one of the defenders for Baker County pulled a guy off the pile, and that guy got up and started pushing him. So, but still, it's a great job by the Baker County defense. They get the turnover, and now they have a chance to possibly put some more points on the board.
So the Wildcats will get it on the 47-yard line, their own 47-yard line. Fantastic position. That's our first turnover of the game.
Yeah, first turnover. It's been a clean game so far, and not a lot of penalties, and both teams been taking care of the football and moving it.
You took basketball soon enough, right?
Turnovers, basketball, that's the big thing.
It's a big thing everywhere.
Yes, live ball turnovers.
All right, so here we go. Once they figure everything out, the Wildcats will have the football at their own 47. 7.5 minutes to go in the third, 21-14. We're kind of stuck in neutral now here in the third quarter. But let's see if that turnover does a little something for Baker County on the offensive side of things.
One thing I'm noticing for West Nassau is all of their skill players are playing both ways. Let's see a little Ironman football, see if they start getting worn down a little bit.
So here we go, kind of bunched up formation, a little different look. Scooby Graham going out of the Wildcat. Graham fumbles the football away. It's loose on the field, and West Nassau now has it. Scooby Graham took his eye off the snap. He fumbled it away, and West Nassau comes up with it. They've got it back in better field position than they had it.
Got a little cute. Direct snap. It was a high percentage play, just a snap. But you got to think, the running, he hadn't called a cadence yet. He hadn't taken a snap, and Scooby, a little miscommunication, but it's fortunate for West Nassau, and they jumped on top of it. Now they're in scoring position.
So a big play by the Warriors defense, a little fortuitous as well.
It's amazing how turnovers always come in bunches. You have a clean game, and then all of a sudden it starts getting in the second half. Guys maybe get a little fatigue, and you start getting turnovers.
Pretty sure that was Trent Fort, by the way, that came away with that football. But either way, 39-yard line now for West Nassau. It's like their possession never ended. They just got another first down.
Long water break.
Here's Hirschman now. Rolled left, flush left, and just throws it away in a smart decision as Baker County was all over that.
And a good decision there. There was nothing there. He was rolling to his left, right-handed quarterback. He was able to get rid of the ball, not take a hit, and be able to live another day.
So second down and 10 for West Nassau. They trail by a touchdown, 7:16 to go in the third quarter. Brent Martin along with Micah Ross, our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. On consecutive plays, the teams traded turnovers, and now West Nassau has it in Baker County territory at the 39-yard line, facing a 2nd and 10. Johnson in the backfield as they send Davis in motion. Hirschman now looks right over the middle now. Ethan Johns, he's got it and then knocked down about the 32. Gain of 7.
And that little RPO flex, little jet motion, and getting the running back to expand towards the sideline has been very effective for them. They just run the slant off of it. If you cover the slant, you throw it out wide to the running back, and it's a simple play. It's a simple concept, but the way Baker County is playing it, you're going to get 5 yards. If you complete the ball, you're going to get 5 yards on every play.
Well, now puts them on schedule here. Third down, they'll call it the 33-yard line. So 3rd and 4 upcoming for West Nassau, but clearly could be 4-down territory. Johnson in the backfield off the right hip of Hirschman. Hirschman fakes the handoff, now looks deep down the right side. Has a receiver, but he overthrows him, and now we've got some flags down as well. And it looks like there's going to be holding of some sort on Tracy White out there for Baker County.
Yeah, they tried to take a shot, and it would have been a touchdown. It looked like the defender, Tracy, was permanently attached to the receiver. You know it's pass interference when they the back judge and the side judge both throw their
Yeah, they
flag.
both threw it. And they were trying to get Stanton back involved. Zorian Stanton, who just fumbled on the near side of the football field. They were trying to go up top to him there.
And I like what West Nassau did. They took a shot. You know, you had a situation where it was a 3rd and short. That means you're probably going to go for it in that position anyway. Why don't you take a shot to see if you can catch the defense sleeping a little bit and possibly score a game-tying touchdown.
Well, bring up a first down now inside the 20-yard line after the pass interference. on Baker County. So West Nassau has it, and they're in prime position to try to tie this football game up in the third quarter. 6:42 to go in the third. Johnson in the backfield with Hirschman. Fakes the handoff to Johnson. Now Hirschman flushed right, rolling right, throws in the end zone to an open receiver, and it's caught in the end zone. Chaz Davis once again laying on his backside. They got that one through, and it's a touchdown for West Nassau.
But it looks like you have a flag for a holding, and it's coming back again. Wow, great play by the quarterback. You bought some extra time through a frozen rope in the back of the end zone, but it's going to come back.
I got to get used to seeing these pink flags. Looking for yellow.
Wow, that's 2 touchdowns today that's been called.
2
back.
off the board now for West Nassau. 1 in the second quarter, and now here in the third quarter. And let's see what shakes out after this latest one. That was a really good throw by Hirschman. Nice catch by Davis. Yes, he's everywhere, but he was laying on his backside and caught that one. In fact, I thought for a moment when that ball was in the air, I thought it might be picked off.
Yeah, I thought it so. Thought so also.
So the ball will go all the way back to the 35-yard line. It's not just a 10-yard penalty in high school football. It's a spot foul. So it's all the way back to the 35. First down all over again. Send Johns in motion. Hirschman now being flushed out of the pocket. They want another hold here at Baker County. They don't get it. Instead, Hirschman just throws it away, and that's incomplete.
And Baker County fans have a great reason to be yelling on that one. The right tackle at that time was pretty much had a good grip on the defender and wouldn't let him go. And I keep going back to West Nassau. Anytime Canode gets out here on number 6 for Baker County, he probably has at least a 6-inch size difference. And he's out there manned up, and they're not even giving him a chance and with no help over the top. And this matchup is here again to see if someone sees that and they try to at least go to it.
Yeah, Canode's working against DeHaven Clark. He's just a sophomore. West Nassau now wants a timeout as they couldn't get the play in time. 6:28 to go here in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout as well. 21-14 our score. Baker County leads West Nassau, but the Warriors have the football and are driving on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Hey, welcome back to our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. It's second down, down to the 35-yard line. Now Hirschman on the snap has to fall on it because he fumbled it away. And once again, West Nassau, to set the scene if you're just jumping in, down by a touchdown here in the third quarter at Baker County. They just had a touchdown wiped off the board because of a holding. And now the ball's all the way back at the 43-yard line, and it's third down and a bundle, like third down and 34. For West Nassau.
You're probably not going to pick this first down up. You want to get as many yards as you can, give you a possible chance to go for it, but more importantly, get in field goal range.
So here we go. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Hirschman has it. He's getting flushed again. A lot more pressure as of late. He dumps it off to Johnson. Johnson has it inside the 40, has a stiff arm, but he's nowhere to go. Well defended by Baker County. He picks up about 7 yards, but that's it for Johnson and West Nassau. You're starting to see some pressure by the Wildcats.
Yeah, they're starting to get up the ball and come after the quarterbacks for both of the quarterbacks for West Nassau. They've done a good job in the run game, and now they're stepping up. They're like, hey, man, let's get some sacks and cause some turnovers.
That'll bring Will Carroll onto the football field to punt it away for West Nassau. And what's interesting here is the ball's on the 37. So you really don't have to kick it too far to try to pin Tracy White and Baker County deep. But it's not even worth doing a fake because you still have a lot. Now the snap goes over the punter's head. Will Carroll, he's running. He picks it up back his own 35. Can he kick it away? No, he can't. Instead, Baker County will get the football at West Nassau's 36-yard line. So an errant snap goes over the head of the punter. And again, a drive that had a touchdown wiped off the board has West Nassau going backwards big time, all the way back to their own 37, and that's where Baker County will take over.
And I know the West Nassau staff is over there probably just shaking their heads. You got a touchdown, you got another turnover, you score, and then you get it taken off the board by another holding penalty. You try to kick them deep and pin them deep on a punt, and it snaps it overhead, and now you find yourself on defense and your opponent's in your territory.
Austin Rich able to get back there before Will Carroll could do anything with it. Carroll was running for his life. I was just wondering if he was going to be able to at least try to kick it away, and he was never able to do so. And really, to go over that again, I mean, they had a touchdown off the board. They go back 17 yards because of a hold in the backfield. Then they have an errant snap, and then they have a punt that goes backwards. I mean, this is really incredible how far backwards they have gone. And now all of that results in Baker County with the football at the 37-yard line of West Nassau, up a touchdown. Could be a pivotal moment in the football game.
Right. And you know that Baker County right now, they're going to try to settle this thing down. They're going to give it to Scooby and see if he can just get in a rhythm again.
4:50 to go in the third quarter. Up a touchdown. Here goes Baker County now. They do give it to Scooby Graham. He bounces right, misses a tackle, breaks another tackle. Now inside the 35-yard line. And it's a nifty run, but it only goes for about 4 yards.
Yeah, he was able to bounce it to the outside, but the defender came up and made a pretty good tackle on that play and limited him to a 2-3 yard gain.
So the ball's inside the 35-yard line at the 33 of West Nassau. Critical drive for the Warriors defense. Baker County has it. Two backs in the backfield. The snap, they give. And that's Jamarian Baker, who scored a touchdown earlier in the game. Picks up a couple yards down to the 35.
And there's nothing really
30, excuse me.
It's nothing really fancy what West Nassau is doing on defense. They have everybody in the box. They're going to try to stop the run and make Baker County beat him up top.
3rd and 3 and probable 4-down territory for Baker County. Here's the give to Graham. Graham tries to cut back inside, but he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Give him a half a yard, but good defense by West Nassau. Here we go, 4th down and a couple.
Yeah, and it's just a good job right there. There's too many defenders. There's 8 guys and only 6 guys to block them, so the numbers don't work. So you're going to have a free rusher, and that guy's just shooting the gap in the A gap, and it's coming up and making a play on it.
3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Baker County up a touchdown. Now 4th down and a couple of yards. Bowen now will go under center. Scooby Graham right behind him, like a yard behind him. And they give it to him like he's a fullback. He tries to push forward, and that would be all the legs of Scooby Graham if he gets there. And I think he does have it. But he was stopped initially, and that was just the gutsy Graham getting a first down.
Oh, man, that was a great drive, great determination, putting his head down. A little old-school football there. He was behind him in the 4-point stands, and got it, and he was able to push it. It's going to be close, but I think he got it, but he was tackled probably at the 30-yard line to carry the defender to the first down.
All right, the ball's marked at the 27-yard line. From where I'm standing, I don't even know if it's that close. I kind of think it's a first down. But they're going to bring out the sticks and measure this. And this will be a critical measurement. Now, we're not right in line with the 27-yard line, so certainly could be just a difficult angle. I think the Baker County folks believe they have the first down. I'm kind of with them. I think they do too. But here we go, a critical measurement. That was a 4th down play.
And West Nassau, they're selling out on the run. And I know for the coaches, they had everything lined up, and they were just hoping to get a stop.
Yeah, by a football, that's a first down. I got better eyes than you give me credit for, Micah.
That was a good job. That was a pretty good job.
So it's 1st down and 10 at the 27 for Baker County. Well, they needed every inch. Scooby Graham delivered with his legs there. That was just, I want it more than you.
Yeah, determination and the drive to not be stopped.
3:09 to go in the third quarter. 21-14 is our score. And a critical possession, it appears, in this football game. Again, West Nassau has had 2 touchdowns taken off the board, and they were stopped at the 3-yard line on downs. So missed opportunities to this point for the Warriors. And Baker County trying to cash in and extend a lead. Here's the snap. They give it to Graham. Graham up the middle, and he just got tripped up. Oh, man, there was a bunch of green grass in front of him. He hit the hole hard, and I think he tripped over his own lineman's feet. Still a decent gain on first down, but that was 6.
And I was thinking to myself, West Nassau was aligned wrong, and they're aligning the same way. Oh, they changed it. They were aligned wrong. They hit 5 on one side and 3, and they just ran to the 3-man side.
22-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Second down now after a gain of 5. They give it to Graham as he stretches left. Running with a blocker inside the 20 now, down to the 15. Stays in bounds and then gets hit out of bounds inside the 10-yard line as Scooby Graham is taken over right now for Baker County.
Yep, and that time he was able to bounce it because West Nassau didn't set the edge. And once he didn't set the edge, he was able to get to the outside and almost got into the end zone.
So here we go, 1st and goal for Baker County. They give the handoff. They have a seam up the middle, and is that a touchdown? It is a touchdown. DeHaven Clark, I think it is, carrying the football. The first time we've seen him carry the football here tonight.
Hey, he went a little Iron Man 2-way on that one.
Nah, that's not him.
That's not
I thought it was a 6.
That's 9.
That was Shaquan Page.
Shaquan
Page who will jump in. He's a smaller back. He hit the hole hard, and he scored for Baker County to extend the lead to 2 touchdowns. Now the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's good. No, it's not. It just missed, in fact. So it's 27-14 is our score after the missed point-after attempt.
And looks like what Baker County decided to do was spread them out a little bit. And then now it doesn't matter if you have enough to block because now the guy is too wide to make the play, and they're just running in between the tackles, getting a little movement, a little crease, and those running backs for Baker County are able to get up in between there and make something happen.
Scooby Graham did most of the work, but then Baker County throws a little bit of a wrinkle in there. And they use Jaquan Page, and he scoots in from 8 yards out to give Baker County the lead.
Yep, give a fresh body in, a quicker guy, and get it and run.
2:20 to go in the third. Now it's 27-14. So, again, that was big. We thought it would be big. It could be big. And Baker County made sure it was a big sequence. When West Nassau got the touchdown called back, went backwards a bunch of yards. Baker County actually started that possession at the West Nassau 37, and they cash in. Now lead at 27-14. The kickoff to Chaz Davis. He finds a little bit of a seam, but Baker County does a nice job on the kickoff return coverage. And the Warriors will take over at the 32-yard line.
Yep, and I think Baker County's kind of figured it out on the kickoff as we have an injured Baker County player, number 45, Connor South. Look like he's got a little banged up on there, but they're figuring it out. They're staying in their lanes. They're coming down, and they're not letting West Nassau get into the open space.
Yeah, they're just kind of, when they do these kickoffs, it's like in the middle between a real kickoff and a pooch punt. It's kind of in between. It was like a 10 or 15-yard area, and if they get it into that area, they've done a nice job, just like on this one, and they'll give up the ball at the 31-yard line. That's where West Nassau will start. Give these guys on the return team a chance and look out. We've seen that one time already tonight.
Yeah, and right now it's not really panic time for West Nassau. I know you're down 27-14, couple of scores, and you want to get back into it, but you still got to do what you've been doing. You just got to keep using those short passing games, keep them honest a little bit, and just try to get a score. If you can get a score before the quarter, fine, but you got to make sure that you just get some movement and just don't get a penalty. You've scored twice. You've shown the ability to score. You just got to play within your means and just kind of get a score.
2:12 to go here in the third quarter. Plenty of time, like Micah just said, but they better get going and get in the end zone if they're going to make this a football game. 27-14 is our score. Baker County in the lead.
Yeah, and looked like Mr. South he got cut on that play. Watching the replay.
Yeah, I think Baker County's kind of telling the officials that too, and well, the officials saw it.
Wow, I mean, it's a good call. I didn't see the flag. We were watching on the replay, and the kid unfortunately, he got chopped and they called it, but I hope the young man, Connor South, is all okay. That's why you can't cut on kickoff because it's dangerous. Guys are running, they can't see, and someone can blow out a knee or ankle.
He continues to get looked at the sideline. And speaking of, Avant Lee went out early in this game, has not come back in. He limped off the field and has not come back in. He's actually sitting on the bench. So tough night for Avant Lee as well for Baker County. So they've been short him most of the evening. All right, once the officials figure this out, they're continuing to talk to the coaching staff at Baker County. And they've already marked off the penalty. We get a lot of meetings, a lot of conversations.
I know.
You know? I mean, maybe we should mic them up. They could help call the game. I wonder what's being said. I want to know. A little Hard Knock style. All right, so West Nassau gets the football at the 16-yard line. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. 2:12 to go in the third. And Baker County, West Nassau has to get things going. They throw it out to Chaz Davis. He catches it at the 37. What a catch. Bounces off a tackle. Cuts back in at the 40 and down at the 30-yard line. So there you go, the quick strike. That's a heck of a catch by Chaz Davis. Get it to number 11. He'll do some pretty good things.
Got up and made a play in contact, in traffic, used his hands, caught the ball, bounced off the defender, and able to get some running yards after the catch. And now West Nassau is back in striking distance again. Big plays. Now can they convert on this time?
Padgett doing the throwing. He's back in at the quarterback spot as they continue to alternate. So Padgett in the backfield with Ethan Johns. He spits it out to Davis. Davis must not be tired. Shaking and baking. Down to the 25. Gets hit pretty hard, but falls forward to the 23. As Davis has been a busy guy. After the big reception, they go right back to him.
Yeah, he's playing quarterback. He's had his hands on his knees right now, but listen, he can rest tomorrow. There's no football. There's no football tomorrow, but he rests tomorrow. But he's a young guy, bounce back. But I like the way he's fighting. He's fighting for every yard. That's the kind of spark that West Nassau needs to get back in this game.
And they move him all over the field. He caught the big play on the right side. Now he's off to the left side. Now he's back to the right side in the slot on a 3-wide receiver set. Padgett has Johns in the backfield. He'll play the option. He pitches it to Johns. Johns has it inside the 20 now, the 15. Carrying some defenders with him and out of bounds on the far side of the football field inside the 15-yard line. So West Nassau is on the move as they pick up another first down.
And I like that West Nassau just went to the little pistol look just now and run. They've had some success running option, whether it's been speedo or they ran it out of the double wing. And anytime they get number 2 Ethan Johns in space, he's a good-looking athlete. He can go.
Well, now here we go. Back to this double wing formation. Have not had much success. Inside a minute to go in the third quarter. First down just outside the 10. And they hand it off. And Roche has it down inside the 5-yard line. So they found a hole there. Really the first successful play we've seen out of that double wing formation in a while.
Yep, that was the first successful play. And that's why the coach is a coach. And we're up here, I guess. But he stay with what you do and just ride it until something good happens.
Well, here we go again. Now the ball at the 4-yard line. 18 seconds and counting in the third quarter. West Nassau. Under center is Padgett. He gives it to Roche. Roche fighting for yardage down near the goal line, but he goes down short of the goal line, and that's how the third quarter will end here at Baker County, out in McClenny. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Now they stop the clock. Okay, roll that thing. I thought so. That will do it for the third quarter. And we'll switch ends of the field with West Nassau knocking on the door with 12 minutes to play. 27-14. Baker County up by 2 scores, but the Warriors threatening. It should be a lot of fun in the final 12 minutes. Our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690 rolls on from McClenny right after this.
Golick and Wingo are coming to Jacksonville for the Florida-Georgia game.
Hey everybody, Trey Wingo. I want to invite you to come watch us do our show live from Intuition Ale Works on Friday, November 1st. To register for your chance to win VIP passes, go to ESPN690.com.
Are you looking for the best wings around? I found the place. Listen up. Hey, everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Mr. Chubby's Wings is awesome. 2 locations, the West Side and in Fleming Island. They are a part of the community, too. Mr. Chubby's Wings wants to wish all of the high school teams good luck this fall. They've been supporting youth athletics for a decade. Get ready for the game at Mr. Chubby's. Celebrate the big win at Mr. Chubby's. Chub it up with the best wings around. Mr. Chubby's Wings on the west side and in Fleming Island.
Golick and Wingo are coming to Jacksonville for the Florida-Georgia game.
Hey everybody, Trey Wingo. I want to invite you to come watch us do our show live from Intuition Ale Works on Friday, November 1st. To register for your chance to win VIP passes, go to ESPN690.com.
You're listening to the ESPN 690 High School Football Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Now, back to the action. Here's Brent Martineau.
Okay, here we go. Action Sports Shacks. Game of the week on ESPN 690. West Nassau has the football. We start the fourth quarter, and they pitch it to Jazz Davis. Now he's in the backfield, and he does not get in on first down from the 3-yard line. So it brings up a second down for West Nassau, and they'll get a couple of cracks at this one to try to pull within a score, trailing 27-14. Baker County leads West Nassau. Brent Martineau along with Micah Ross having some fun on another Friday night here in McClenny. It's a beautiful night. The rain came for a few, and now it's back a little bit, but not too bothersome. Comfortable temperatures here in mid-October, and a fantastic high school football town. So here we go, out of that double wing, 2nd and goal. Padgett in at QB. Roche the fullback. They send Johns in motion. Padgett keeps it, tries to dive in, but he'll be denied by Baker County. They are stout in the middle, and he can't get in there. Brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, but once again, Baker County's defense rises up in the goal line situation, and that's the story of the day and of the game, that every time they got down there in a single wheel, I know they had a double wing, and I know they had a successful play last time, but the defense is just ready for it, and they're whatever they're doing, whether they're stunting, they're gapping, they're just there to make the play.
I just bring Eli Canode into the football game now, the big tight end. See if he does anything. And where they put him. They're putting him in the backfield. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not him. That's Johnson. Legarius Johnson, the big back they brought in. Canode, though, is split out to the right. Now out of the shotgun, they hand to Johnson. And Johnson close to the goal line, but denied on 3rd down right up the middle. And it brings up 4th down and goal for West Nassau. Remember, they've turned it over on downs already in this game. They've had 2 touchdowns wiped off the board by penalties. Man, for their psyche, they need to get in.
I know. They have opportunity there on the one-foot line, and you just need a foot. Now, quarterback sneak is what I would go, but nope, they go in the gun now.
They're going out of the gun. Johnson in the backfield with Padgett. Here we go. 4th and goal from inside the 1. They give it to Johnson, and it looks like Baker County denied him. And he did. Turnover on downs again as the Baker County defense stands up and keeps the Warriors out of the end zone.
Great job by the defense that time. They were in the backfield. We thought they might go quarterback sneak, a single wing, double wing, but what they decided to do, they went in the gun and tried to get it up in there, and just too much penetration led by the defense. The entire defensive line got in there. They were stout, and they got to the ball.
You know, it's interesting. 2 times now,
yes,
they've turned it over inside the 3-yard line on downs, and they've never tried to stretch the outside of the field at all. And that's where they've had a ton of success, really, here tonight.
Hey, they've had a lot of success down there, and for them not to try that, I know the coaching staff, they're going to be scratching their head if they don't come back in this one.
You know, you'll want to be able to say, hey, we can get a yard, but I just haven't been able to do it. So now Alex Bowen standing in his own end zone, and he gives off to the back. And is that a safety? Because great penetration by West Nassau. I think they'll say, is it Graham or Baker at football? Yeah, Jamarian Baker has the football, and he just got the nose of that ball outside the goal line. But that was close.
He did a great job just now just to get it out of the end zone. He reached and stretched like for a touchdown. And if it wasn't for that play, it would have been 2 points.
Now keep in mind, Alex Bowen had a 93-yard run in a similar situation earlier in the game. Now they're backed up against their own goal line, so it's not that similar. And Baker might be stuffed for a safety this time. It's really close. Did he get the ball out this time? We're waiting for the officials.
How?
And they call it a safety. It's 2 points for West Nassau. On consecutive plays, it looked like they might have got that 2-pointer. So now the West Nassau defense does its job and gets a couple of points on the board.
And I was like, how did he get out? If he got out that time, and it's just too many bodies in the middle, a great penetration. West Nassau just gave Baker County a little bit of their own medicine by stacking the line and shooting a gap and getting up and making a play.
Funny how field position works. I mean, you feel like you failed getting 7, and now all of a sudden you might have just got 2, and you'll end up with the football in pretty good shape, and you might go in for 9.
Right. I mean, quick strike. You've shown the ability to move the ball and get into the red zone. It's just finishing has been a problem tonight. So time is of the essence. It's only 9 minutes and 11 seconds left. But I think that's enough time to the ability they've shown a quick strike.
Well, you had the missed extra point by Baker County. It was 27-14. So there's a 2-pointer, 27-16. And now you brings into play the old touchdown 2-point conversion field goal to tie this thing up. If somehow they can get to 13 points and rally to tie it up in a very odd way.
Right, and you got to think that this drive is critical because you got to score, and you want to score pretty quickly because the way Baker County has been running the ball, although they just got stuffed at the goal line, but the way they've been running the ball, you have to think they'll be able to take some time off and possibly go into a 4-minute situation.
Blake Mays will do the kickoff duties. It's on a tee at the 20-yard line. And keep an eye on this because those pooch punts, you're going to give them fantastic field position, but do you give Chaz Davis and Stanton and Mitchell a chance to return it? So here we go. Pretty good kick down to the 40-yard line. Takes a good roll out to the 30, and Stanton will pick it up at his own 25. So well done. And now Stanton has it at his 30, near side. Picks up some blocks and out around the 45, and now the officials throw a flag. Baker County wanted about 4 different flags, and now a late flag comes in as well. So we've got flags around the 43-yard line. One's pink, one's yellow, and there's no doubt there was a block in the back along the way. We'll see what else happened.
I'm trying to figure out why the white hat threw his flag like 30 seconds after the play.
Okay, so they both saw the same thing.
He just was a little bit out of the play. Oh, my God. Anyway, it's the same. It's the right call. Definitely was a block in the back.
They got it right.
They got it right. Just a little bit late.
And I think you got some help from Baker County. Everybody calling it here in McClenny.
Right. Missed the first one, and then he called the second one. So.
Well, by the way, don't lose sight of that. That ball was sitting on the 20-yard line on the tee, and Blake Mays did a fantastic job. That was a heck of a kick.
He kind of angled it outside of the numbers. I'm not sure if West Nassau was expecting the ball to go over there. You want your runner to field that ball and get straight up the field.
So all in all, after the safety, it's 27-16, 9:01 to play. West Nassau has the football going left to right, but they have it back on their own 33-yard line. So about as good as Baker County could have hoped. Hirschman in the game, flings it out there to Stanton. Stanton has it on the near side, breaks the tackle up across the 40, and, he's about where he returned the kick to, and he gets the penalty yards back. Might be second and short. Let's see if they give him the first down.
Like he does have the first down.
Yeah, they do. They wave up the sticks.
They have a first down and 8:55 left, and you got to score on this drive and kind of put a little bit of pressure back on Baker County.
Hirschman in the game, trailing by 11. West Nassau with the football at the 43. Hirschman now gets it to Davis. Davis catches a low ball, trying to squeeze through some traffic, and he can't do it. Right at the numbers. He'll lose yardage.
Yeah, that was a pretty good job there. And that time the defense flowing to the wide side of the field, and Hats getting to the ball. And late in the game situation, you don't want any broken tackles. You just got to get to the ball.
Well, the timing of it thrown off a little bit. It was a low ball. He had to really go down and catch it instead of catch it and run. The ball will be spotted just outside the 40-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 13 for West Nassau. 8:15 to go here in the game. West Nassau trails 27-16 to Baker County. Plenty of time for Hirschman. Looks down the field and throws it. Has a receiver. It's Mitchell. And Mitchell, does he catch it? Yeah, he fell down.
Yeah.
Okay. There's another flag down on the field, but it's a big gain all the way down to the 30-yard line, and it might be coming back.
Another holding call.
The mistakes.
Is that the third holding call on the big play today?
Yeah, 2 of them touchdowns, and that one a 30-yard gain. Called back. Add to that 2 turnovers on downs inside the 3-yard line, and this will be a tough film to watch for West Nassau.
Oh, man, they're going to be kicking themselves after this one. And more importantly, you take the yardage, and then the clock is starting to become a factor. And as you can remember in the first half, West Nassau wasn't – I mean, they scored on their last drive, but they weren't moving at a really fast pace in their two-minute drive situation.
Another distinct difference in rules, by the way, college game, NFL game, the high school game. It goes from the spot. So on a holding penalty, you can lose like 1,000 yards, it feels like.
So right there, that's a holding. Was that the 35-yard line they're calling?
Yeah. So it balls all the way back to the 25.
Wow.
They got 27 yards to go. So normally, in college NFL, it'd be 2nd and 20. Well, here it's 2nd and 27.
And I don't really like that rule either.
Yeah, it seems like you got to guess, too. It puts the referees in a tough spot, I think, to where to go from. 7:54 and counting in the fourth quarter. Hirschman has a lot of work to do. Has a completed pass up around the 30, but Baker County says that's it. Nothing else doing. It'll bring up 3rd down and 20 yards. And actually a little more than that. 3rd down about 23.
Yeah, and that's, if I'm the Baker County defender, that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to let everybody get over the top of me. They can complete all of the short 5-6 yard runs. I'm going to come up and I'm going to come and make the tackle and get off the field.
And now a timeout on the field for West Nassau as they have to figure things out. Wouldn't you go back maybe to that wheel route concept? I mean, it worked. Remember 3rd and 21, they got the 22. Somehow or another, you got to put it in 11's hands, 1's hands, 3's hands, one of those kind of players.
Yeah, I'd definitely be going to something. Anything you got with a little bit of mixed direction, maybe get some motion out the backfield and get a little confusion on the defense. And it doesn't have to be a pass where you're going to hold it forever, but any type of wheel play, you got to go back to it and see if Baker County found a way to defend it.
So it's going to be 3rd down from their own 31-yard line, but they need a bundle. They have to get to the 47 of Baker County here on this 3rd down possession. 7:27 to go here in the football game. 27-16, Baker County leads it by 11. And you got to give a lot of credit to Baker County's defense. I mean, this was a 21-14 football game at halftime. And only a 2-pointer for West Nassau. That's all that's existed, the safety just moments ago.
They've given up a few plays, but for the most part, they've been stout. They've bend, don't break, limited opportunities for West Nassau.
So West Nassau comes out with an empty set. Here's Hirschman on 3rd and 23. Down the middle of the field, and that's incomplete as he overthrew Canode, the tight end. Had him open around midfield, around that 1st down marker, but he overthrows him.
And it looked like that was 4th down?
That was 3rd.
3rd, okay.
But they're not going to go for it on 4th down and 23 on their own 31, which is an interest. I mean, you're left. You got to start thinking about that because you only have one timeout left, and you only have 7:23 to go, and you need 2 possessions.
Which was interesting. They called timeout on that 3rd and 27 with low percentage play, but it's still a ball game and it's still got time, but you're just gonna have to make some plays here.
So Will Carroll will do the punting duties. This time the snap is okay. Gets it away. Tracy White lets it field. It bounces around the 38, now to the 35, and starts taking a Baker County bounce after that, but they fall on it at the 34-yard line. So that's where Baker County will take over. And really all Baker County needs is some successful plays and maybe a 1st down or 2. They're just wrestling the clock. This isn't even right now against West Nassau.
Yeah, basically Baker County, the running back coach, I know he's like ball security with quarterback. They're preaching ball security right now. You just want to give it to Scooby and let him, if he gets the 1st down, he gets it, but you're going to put it in his hands. At best, West Nassau get the ball back with 4 minutes and have to score twice.
So from their own 34-yard line and 7:13 to go in the football game, leading by 11 points, 27-16. Baker County has it. They give it to Scooby Graham. He runs left. All right, about to cross the 35, the 40. On his near side, he runs over a defender at the 49, gets up to midfield. And an exclamation point at the end of that run by Scooby Graham.
Yeah, you kind of hope he stays in bounds, but he wanted to finish that run, and he did a great job lowering his pad level and knocking the defender out of bounds and getting the 1st down. And once again, that doesn't help.
So the ball is touching the midfield line. 7:05 to go here in the football game after the 1st down. It stopped. 3 wide receiver set, 2 in the backfield. Jaquan Page, who scored a touchdown earlier, alongside Scooby Graham. They give it to Graham. Now across midfield and down to the 45. And we got a flag late. And we'll see it's on the far side of the football field. There's a little wrestling going on out there on the outside. Let's see if they get Baker County or if they get West Nassau.
probably going to be a dead ball penalty, so it's going to be big if it's against Baker County, because then they'll loss of down and they'll get 15 yards.
Well, they'll try to settle this thing. And I think it's going to go against Baker County. And marching back 15 yards, but like you said, I think it's a dead ball, so it'll be second down, and now instead of 5, it'll be second down and 20 for Baker County. Some costly penalties here in the second half, both teams.
And West Nassau at that point, they were probably ready to lay it down. They're running the ball, and now you just give a little bit of CPR to the West Nassau team.
6:55 to go in the game, 27-16 our score. Baker County leads West Nassau, our Action Sports Jacks game of the week on ESPN 690. Had an exciting first half. 21-14 was the score at halftime. Things have slowed a bit. It's still been pretty exciting. Just a lot of plays negated by penalties here in the second half. 2 touchdowns off the board by West Nassau here in the here in this football game. Baker County now on 2nd and 20. They give it to Page, and Page has nowhere to go. Met in the backfield, and Baker County's going backwards. Now, the clock is moving. That's good. But Baker County's going backwards.
And as West Nassau, at some point they have one timeout left. You're going to want probably soon. I know you want to – offense is not a big thing. It stops after a first down, so you're going to have to take a timeout at some point.
6:25 and counting now. Plenty of time in the game clock. Baker County snaps it early. And now down the field, an incomplete pass on 3rd and very long, as Bowen was trying to cash in and keep the chains moving. Instead, they stopped the clock, and really a helper for West Nassau. They snapped it pretty early on the clock, and they now stop the clock with an incomplete pass.
3 plays on that Scooby run that was pretty good, but he ran out of bounds, and that was another 40 seconds. Incomplete pass, another 40 seconds. So you're kind of giving a little life here to West Nassau.
Yeah, now there's 6:18 to go in the football game, and a lot more clock could have burned off the game clock, and it didn't. So Bowen now will kick it away, and he might have been run into, and he is run into.
Wow.
Now, will they call it roughing?
Wow.
He got the kick away.
And the kid, and oh my gosh, I know the coaching staff is on the sideline, and
now let's see. It's all about, what do they call it?
Like they call it 5. Oh no, 15. Now, it's not an automatic first down in high school, 15-yard penalties. Oh, is it? I thought they changed that rule. It shouldn't be an automatic. It should not be an automatic first down.
Well, with the personal foul, they'll call it. Let's see. Now the officials stop it. A water break. So they get first down. I mean, it's unbelievable what just transpired there.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this is going to be a tough film to watch for West Nassau. It's unbelievable. I mean, really, there's no reason to run. I think if you're on the West Nassau side, you can almost debate whether it was running into the kicker or roughing.
Right.
I mean, but at the end of the day, you just can't. It can't happen.
You can't even get close to him. You weren't close to blocking it. You weren't close, and you tell your guys just put a little pressure on him, make him get it off, make sure there's no fake situation, which it wasn't an opportunity. And of course, now it starts raining on the parade. So, go figure.
Well, here's the deal: 6:13 to go in the football game. We got a water break, and I mean that might do it. 27-16 is the score. There was a little life left in West Nassau. They only have a timeout left, and Baker County had gifted them an extra couple minutes on the clock, and punting the ball away, and then they just returned the gift.
And you just got to run the ball and stay in bounds right now. That's the main factor.
Heck, you could take a knee at this point.
I mean
just watch 2 minutes go off the clock.
Exactly.
Let's see what Baker County tries to do. They've got the ball on the 48-yard line of West Nassau, and they give it to Baker. Marion Baker has it. He's wrestling and trying to fight for yardage on the near side and doesn't get away from the West Nassau defender, so no gain.
And I know you're at home and you're watching this, and the fans were kind of like looking at he grabbed the jersey, but he was already made contact when he had it, so that's why it's not a horse collar type situation.
Another nice play by Trent Fort. He's just a sophomore. I think he's going to be a good football player.
Yeah, he's going to be a nice player.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. And again, the down and distance, not really the big factor for Baker County at this moment. It's the clock, and the clock is rolling. 5:37 and counting. up by 11. They give it to Scooby Graham. Scooby Graham tries to shake a tackler, but good ankle tackle by West Nassau right up the middle. And maybe Scooby picks up a few, but a nice play, at least for now, to keep him in the game.
Right. That was a touchdown saving tackle probably because everyone was rushing in, and now Baker County's hurrying up to get to the line, which I don't know why.
Yeah, 25 on the play clock still. Try to draw the defense off, and now they look to the sideline. More important than a touchdown is a first down, really, for Baker County.
Yeah, now they slowed down. They just got lined up, and they're working the clock now.
Yeah, smartly so. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. 5 minutes left in the football game, up by 11.
They're going to call timeout, looks like.
Yeah, they're going to burn the whole thing down. And Kevin Mays calls a timeout. And now there's 4:48 to go in the football game. Hey, you've been around coaching high school sports a while, like basketball or football. I mean, how painful is this tape going to be to watch for West Nassau? I mean, just think about it again. If you're just catching this, it's a 2-score game. It's an 11-point game. But West Nassau has had 2 touchdowns taken off the field. They've turned it over on downs 2 different times inside the 3-yard line. And they've had some plays from penalty standpoint that's cost them a bundle of yards. And most recently just had a roughing the kicker that just ran 2 more minutes off the clock at the very least.
Oh, man, it's going to be a struggle in all 3 phases of the game today. And they're going to look at special teams. You can't forget about special teams, a botch punt, and had an opportunity to catch a ball on a kickoff. But it's going to be brutal. They're going to have to get in there. And, of course, you got to watch it. You got to bounce back. They're still a good team. They're still 6-2. This isn't a district game, but you're still going to have to get those guys refocused on doing the little things next week.
All right, so out of the timeout, 4:48 to go. 3rd down. They're going to throw it now. Up top, Bowen goes down the field, and that is off the fingertips and out of bounds, incomplete. So they stop the clock as Joseph Stafford was the intended receiver. And now Bowen and Baker County will punt again. I think the only thing I can figure is they're trying to catch West Nassau by surprise throwing the football here and just try to win the game outright, you know? I mean, and that's okay. I get that mentality, just trying to win the game outright. But there's still 4:43 to go. I mean, you're a big play away from keeping yourself in it if you're West Nassau.
Yeah, I'm running the ball, Coach.
Bowen now. He'll punt it away, and this time, let's see, nobody gets close to him. Chaz Davis has it. Gets it around his 10-yard line. Has some room to run at the 20, 25, 30. 35 still on his feet out to the 40. Makes a cut back and tackled from behind. Nice job chasing the play. But at the end of the day, Chaz Davis has the ball out at the 45-yard line. They kicked it to him. This guy's spectacular in the open field. And West Nassau still breathing.
I know. They're getting CPR again. It's kind of been Baker County the one kind of giving it to them. But remember, it was 7 minutes left on the clock. And when they first got the ball, they had 2 possessions, only burned out 3 minutes. So they're still in a great position. They're still up, 11 points, 4 minutes. Only West Nassau only has 1 timeout. But as we have seen before, anything can happen in high school football.
Well, so here we go. 27-16 our score. Baker County leads it by 11. It's been an odd game here in the second half especially. Paget now at the quarterback spot. Fakes the handoff, now looking for some room because he's swallowed up and sacked. First sack of the football game, and it comes at a good time. Austin Rich in on that action as well, and Baker County comes up with a defensive play.
Yeah, didn't have a chance that time. Baker County, they stayed in their rush lanes, and guys coming in, and it just came and gave great pressure. And we talked about this in the first half. As you can see, you have to have some tempo. You need 2 scores, West Nassau, and there's no sense of urgency coming right now from their offense.
They let the play clock run down now to 16 and 15. The game clock inside 4 minutes to go. They're still looking at the sideline here. Play clock at 12 and 10, and Paget's going to snap it. He gets it, fakes the handoff. Under pressure again, now down the middle of the field, has a receiver. It's caught, and by one hand, and here's Stanton, shakes a tackle, 15, 10, 5. Will he get in? He gets in the end zone. What a play by Stanton. Unbelievable. Zorian Stanton with a one-handed catch across the middle, broke a tackle, and ends up scoring. And we got a football game still.
We have a football game. Outstanding play. He was being held on the pass. One arm, one hand grab, broke a tackle, outran the defense to the end zone, and we have a ball game, Brent.
Unbelievable. I got to love high school football. How is this even a game still?
I don't know.
One would ask themselves. And it is. It's 27-22. You go for two here. And West Nassau will do that. They got to get a play
in. And we always talk about, oh, man, they don't have one timeout. But we always talk about anything can happen in high school football. I mean, it happens in the pros too, but that's why you use the clock.
27-22, going for two with 3:35 to go in the game. After the big score by West Nassau, and now the officials stop it and want to put more time on the play clock. And
I don't know
I'm
why.
not really sure why.
It started when it's supposed to.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think West Nassau was late getting that play in, and they were running down on the clock. But they reset it, and now there's 15 and counting. So that's a little bit of a helper for West Nassau.
Oh, they just blew the whistle, and it's already down to 8, so I'm not sure what's going on here.
So here we go. The snap. They fake it to Roche, and Padgett keeps it, and he walks into the end zone for the two-point conversion. A good decision by Padgett that time, as he had an open lane to the end zone, and the two-pointer's good. And look at this, Micah Ross. It's 27-24, and we've got 3:35 to go. It's still a football game here in Baker County.
Wow, a little zone read on a two-point play. We got in there. 3-point game, and both teams will have plenty of practice with the onside kick. We're going to get one right here. Let's see who comes up with it.
Well, the interesting thing is you can still probably get the football back if you stop with one timeout and on that set of downs with 3.5 minutes to go. But West Nassau, all they do is onside kicks.
Yeah.
So they practice this thing a bunch for this situation.
I'm definitely going to onside kick it, and you give yourself a 50-50 chance. Just got to keep it in bounds. The kicker's been doing a great job getting that hard bounce up, and to see hope. These aren't pros and college kids. These are high school kids, and this is a play where anything can happen.
So Will Carroll's the kicker, and he does do a great job. Here's the deal. 27-24 is our score. Baker County leads it just by a field goal now with 3:35 to go. As you talked about West Nassau being on CPR, a little CPR action. Well, now they've got a whole new life.
Yes, they do.
They're feeling pretty good about themselves.
And I would bring another guy up. I know Baker County has 2 defenders up. I'll bring that extra guy up, and so you can want to get outflanked.
Well, they fully expect the onside kick here. And
Right.
Carroll is the kicker. He's done a great job. He's kicked it to the left a bunch. Let's see what he does. He does. It bounces to the left. It goes up in the air, and it's taken and received by Baker County at the 40. And this is Page. And now it has it. And now he returns it across midfield and down to the 40-yard line. And that's not Page instead. It was number 6, Clark. So there's DeHaven Clark. Nice job. And the return all the way down inside the 40. So Baker County set up in pretty good shape. Couldn't have done it better by the Wildcats.
And you always, when you look at onside kicks, you want to kick it to the short side. To their left, West Nassau had 6 guys, and Baker County only had 4. And they kind of tricked themselves by kind of like deceptive. If you just kicked it to that side, they would have had a better opportunity.
So here's the deal. 3:26 to go in the football game. Baker County leads 27-24. West Nassau only has 1 timeout. And so Baker County comes out with the football on the West Nassau 39. Here's Bowen. Gets the snap. Gives it to Graham. Graham up the middle. Nice run on first down to about the 35. Protect the football, picks up 4, sets up 2nd and 6. Clock still moving. Now, we think West Nassau has a timeout left.
Yes, they should have 1 timeout with 3 minutes, so they're going to let it play out. And after this play, you'll get the timeout, which it should be under 2 minutes and probably about around 2:30 mark after this play.
20 on the play clock, 2:55 on the game clock.
You get a first down, this game's over.
Absolutely. 35-yard line is where the ball is spotted. It's 2nd and 6 for Baker County. Not in a hurry, smartly. 6 now on the game play clock. 2:40 on the game clock. Here's Bowen, senior quarterback. Hands it off to Graham. Graham now goes right. He's stretched out, and he's going to be dropped for a loss by West Nassau. Very good play defensively. And that'll be a loss of a couple and set up 3rd down.
Yeah, good play by West Nassau, stringing the ball out, making the ball carrier bounce it up wider than he wanted to go. And he did a good job, though, not running to the sideline and going out of bounds and protecting the ball. But just good play. Now this is a critical, as the clock is still ticking.
Now
home cooking.
2:09. Yeah.
A little country home cooking there, a little sausage and gravy.
Yeah, I was going to say, that play clock didn't start for quite some time, and now we have a timeout on the field. So if West Nassau called the timeout, which I think they did.
It was probably around the 2:30-something mark.
Well, they should have called it around that time.
Yeah, so I wonder if anybody's going to notice it. No, nobody noticed it. Oh.
Oh, they're saying now there's a problem with the play clock, so they're going to keep the time on the field with the back judge.
Okay.
Now, the PA said there is a timeout by the Wildcats.
I know Baker County wouldn't call it.
I can't imagine they called a timeout in that situation, at least at that time. 2:09 is on the game clock here on the scoreboard. That's what we have to go by.
Okay.
I still believe that must have been a West Nassau timeout, unless the officials called it.
Hey, I saw the coach.
It was an official timeout for the play clock? Okay.
Oh, wow. So that means,
Well, let's see if they roll the clock, and that will be a good indication of such.
Well, that means
we're still trying to figure things out here.
Means West Nassau still has a timeout then.
The official. So here they welcome back the official who had to run out to his car and get a stopwatch. I would have thrown him my phone.
I've never seen that happen before.
Hey, we're just trying to figure it out here, folks. On Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Who knows, right?
Great finish, though. We're getting a good finish. You said you've been getting overtimes, and once again, a great ball game out here. Two well-coached teams, well-played game.
All right, I want to see if they're going to roll the clock. This is what I'm curious about because 2:09 to go. And now we're set to action, but they don't roll the clock. So here we go. The Wildcats get the snap quick, and they don't go anywhere. They're at the 38-yard line here. They give it to Tracy White. Tracy White hasn't carried the ball all day, but Tracy White carried the ball there at the 38, and now West Nassau will use that final timeout.
Wow.
I mean, that did not benefit Baker County at all. The fact that the officials called the timeout, but they never rolled the clock once play was set back in, and on top of that, they snapped the football like right away.
Yeah, that had to be a mistake somehow. But once again, the CPR is back. It's fourth down, and now you got West Nassau going to get another opportunity. And in a high school game where the clock stops after every first down, that's a ton of time.
Yeah, good, really good job by West Nassau. I have no idea what's going on with the clock, but really good job by their defense.
Yeah.
Because after a pickup of 4 yards, set up 2nd and 6, they knock Scooby Graham backwards. They obviously want to keep running the play. Baker County does running and not stop the clock, make them forced to use that last time out. But they shut him down on 3 downs, and now it brings up 4th down for Bowen, who will be in the punt. Now, Bowen's the quarterback, and he's also the punter. And they're at a spot in the field where you could do something funny now.
If you want to win the game, you go win it. So, I mean, hey, listen, if you got something, but, I mean, the way West Nassau defense is, they're not rushing hard. It'll be pretty hard to pick up 11 yards on a fake.
And we saw roughing the punter earlier, so West Nassau have to be really careful. They just want the football. I wouldn't touch Bowen. I'd play for the fake. 2:01 to go in the game. Here's the snap. It's a good one. He gets it right away. High, good punt. Maybe around the 10-yard line, 11-yard line, and it's down right there. 10 or 11-yard line. So a nice job by Bowen. Really good kick. No chance for a return with a dangerous return man from West Nassau. Well, that sets us up, man. 1:54 to go in the football game. No timeouts for West Nassau. They trail by 3, and they got a chance.
Hey, they have a chance, and we talked about this in the keys to the game, Baker County being in these close games. They find themselves in another close game where the defense is going to have to come out here and finish the game. And it's exciting, and I can't wait to see what happens.
So Baker County leads by 3 with 1:54 to go in the football game. Just had a big play to Stanton to get it this close. Padgett now has it. Fakes the handoff, gets it out to his receiver on the far side of the field and out of bounds. It looks like it's Stanton again for a pickup of 8 yards and a stoppage of the clock.
A good play. That's what's been working all day. The simple short passes, the hitch pass, get it out to your guys in space. He was able to get out of bounds and get a little bit of breathing room.
So it'll be 2nd down and a couple of yards. And moving the sticks is important because it stops the clock. So we go, the snap to Paget, who rolls right, looking right. Has a receiver, but he short hops him at the 30-yard line. It was Ethan Johns, incomplete, brings up 3rd and 3.
And that time, Baker County was able to get pressure on the quarterback. They tried to do that half roll again. And that time, once again, the running back was unable to contain the defensive end, which is not the end of the world. You got a 3rd and short. You didn't get a play or a negative play, so you still have a chance.
So now Memorial Stadium comes to life. 1:45 to go on the game clock. 3rd down and a few yards for West Nassau. Back at their own 19-yard line. The completion out to Stanton, it looks like. He's got the first down and out of bounds, as that was well blocked by the big fella. They split him out way wide. And that's a first down, and the chains will move, and the clock will stop with 1:38 to go for West Nassau.
Good job, and I think Baker County might be fortunate. That was kind of close to the sideline. He got slung out of bounds, but still good play, good effort, and now the chains are moving.
So the football's out at the 26-yard line. 1:38 to go. Doing a nice job using the sideline here as well. And not only does the clock stop because of the chains moving, but they keep getting out of bounds. The rain's coming down here in McClenny. Baker County with a 27-24 lead. 1:38 to go in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. They send Davis in motion. They don't give it to him. Paget now looks out that wheel route again. It's complete and out to the 40-yard line. That's Ethan Johns. It's been effective.
That wheel play, every time they've run it, has been a big gain for it. And I'll be honest with you, I'll run it to the wide side of the field. I'll run it right now.
You got a lot of space on the near side of the football field. West Nassau going left to right. And they've got a lot of life at the 42-yard line. 93 seconds to go in the game. 1st and 10. 4 wide receivers set. John's in the backfield with Paget. Paget, the senior quarterback, gets it to the tight end, Canode. He catches it around the 45 and gang tackled right there. So that will keep the clock moving and only a gain of 3 yards.
And now how quick can West Nassau get set back up? They're going to have to move and get lined up, and they're on the ball this time now.
Yeah, they're doing that a little quicker than they did in the first half and earlier in this fourth quarter. 1:11 to go and counting. 2nd and 7. Paget slips a pass rush, throws deep just off the fingertips of Centuri Mitchell. Good effort by Mitchell. And I think he might have a cramp.
Like he's cranching. He can't even reach his foot. He's over there, and the official going to have to see it. But
he's trying to get up. But that will take Mitchell out of the play. And Mitchell's one of their weapons. So that hurts not only because it's a cramp, and those hurt like a son of a gun, but that really hurts West Nassau's offense on a critical 3rd and 7 coming up.
Yeah, this is a big play coming up. That time he was just a little bit out of the reach of the receiver. Yeah, and he can't make it off the field, and he just falls down. But this is going to be a timeout, basically.
Yeah, I think, Baker County, I think some of the folks will be like, hey, you can't fall, injury. The clock was stopped anyway, so it wasn't an effort to stop the clock. Now, maybe you can converse a little bit and set up a play, but you could tell he clearly had a cramp. And he was on the far side of the football field, so he had to get off. So 1:05 to go in the game. Man, this is fun. 27-24. Baker County leads West Nassau. Our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. We're up here with some Baker County folks who said it's not fun. It's not fun. That's fun for us.
Setting up for a fantastic finish.
This is what it's all about, man. One of the great spots in Northeast Florida, here in McClenny, Baker County. They do it right. They do Friday Night Football right, and it's been a pleasure being out here all afternoon for our radio show and now tonight for our Game of the Week. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross, and we got another fantastic finish. 3 weeks in a row, but it's a critical 3rd down at the 45-yard line for West Nassau. Paget in at quarterback. 4 wide receivers set. 1:05 to go and no timeouts. Johns goes in motion. They fake the handoff. And now they spit it out to Stanton. He's got it at the 45 across midfield and reaches forward toward a first down, but he doesn't have it. He does not have it. He went out of bounds. So a headsy play to go out of bounds and stop the clock. But this will all come down to a 4th down play for West Nassau.
And he reached the ball out. Unfavorable mark, but it's still 4th and 1. Do you sneak it? Do you run it? Do you throw it? Oh, man.
You don't run that double wing because that hasn't worked very well.
Oh, man.
And are they doing it?
Oh, I thought they were getting a double wing.
No, they're not. From the 49-yard line, they got to get to the 48 with 58 seconds to go, trailing by 3. They spit it out to Stanton. He's got it. He's got a first down, down to the 45, now to the 40 and out of bounds. He stops the clock, and that little bubble screen out there on the far sideline has really worked. And we got a late flag coming in. Oh no. We don't want to see any flags late in the game. But here we go. Well after the play, could this go against West Nassau? Baker County certainly indicating that.
And you just can't make those type of selfish plays at that time, and that's what it is. You control your emotions, go out of bounds, or
But is it late hit territory? That's where it looks like. But at the same time, it might have been someone on the bench for West Nassau.
This is going to be a big play, a big call.
The officials talking about it right around the 37-yard line, and this gives West Nassau a chance to huddle up again.
And the way they're playing that, when they go to single receiver to the left-hand side, the corner doesn't want to get big deep, so he's in 7 yards and bail. I would keep throwing that hitch and just keep 52 seconds. You catch it, and at worst, you're going to get 6 yards to get out of bounds.
So let's see what we have. Official picks up the flag, and now we're going to get a ruling in a critical one. 52 seconds to go. First down, it looks like, for West Nassau. It's a dead ball. So it's the offense that gets the dead ball foul. And really one that's tough to handle. And there's been a lot of those that have been tough to handle for West Nassau. But you just can't do it. At this point in the game, you really shouldn't do it any time, but really can't do it at this point in the game, and that's a hurtful one. It'll be first down, but it goes all the way back into West Nassau territory.
Now, if it was after the play, do you make that 1st and 25 or is 1st and 10? Because you had the first down.
They call it 1st and 10.
Okay, so it's 1st and 10.
So it's at their 47-yard line. Remember that smash play to Chaz Davis there that worked at the end of the first half? Keep an eye on it now. Padgett gets the snap, rolls to his right, looks down the field, and he has Johns, but it's almost picked off. It's deflected and knocked down. Great defensive play down there by Baker County. And that's DeHaven Clark. He was good on the secondary.
And you called it. They tried to run that half roll with the smash concept. And that time they didn't throw it to our good old number 11 who's been making plays,
Chaz Davis.
Chaz Davis. And you got to go back to him at some point. He hasn't made a play on this one. I would try it again or go back to the wheel.
So 45 seconds to go. Brings up second down now. Plenty of time to get into field goal range and force a tie. And we'll take overtime for a third straight week here on Action Sports Shack on ESPN 690. Heavier rain now falling, too, here in McClenny. 45.9 to go. Padgett gets the snap, fakes the handoff, looking down the field, and well defended by Tracy White. Fortunate not to be picked, but working against Stanton, and that's been a good battle today. Tracy White with a nice defensive play.
Yeah, great job. He got his left hand in there without making contact before the ball got there. Tighten it up a little bit, playing the sticks out there on the island by himself. Now we're at 3rd and 10. You have time. You have 2 downs to get 10 yards. You just can't panic and make a poor decision right now if you're the quarterback.
And if I'm Baker County, I'm keeping my eye on number 11 in white. That's Chaz Davis. Anytime they need a big play, they've gone to Davis. And some other guys have made plays. Stanton's made plays, and Johnson's made plays. But keep an eye on Davis. Here we go, 3rd and 10 for the 47. Padgett gets the snap, rolls, throws out to the far side, and that's defended well. And now a flag comes in late. It looked like perfect defense by Baker County's Ronnie Ellis. But a flag comes in late, and it now looks like it will be interference.
Oh, man, that's a tough call. That looked like pretty good defense. I'm not an official, but it looked like pretty good defense. They tried to go to Chaz Davis and run just a simple out route. And, watching the replay,
well, what you can't can you tell in the replay, and we've got some replay capability up here, but can you tell if the arm's wrapped, right? One of those type of deals in tugging?
You can't really tell, but it looked listen, I'm not one of those Foot Locker guys. They have a tough job, but, they make plays, but that being said, the drive is continuing, and it gives more life to West Nassau.
That's a tough call in that spot. It looked like pretty good defense. 37 seconds to go now. The ball's all the way down to the 38-yard line. West Nassau trails by 3 here in Baker County. Padgett barking signals. Shotgun gets a snap. Now flushed. Looks downfield, throws it up, and is it intercepted? It's picked off by Baker County. They come away with it, and guess who? It was Ellis.
He called it. No, the receiver called it.
They called it a catch?
They called it a catch.
How did he catch it?
I don't know. Wow.
Well, wait a minute. 27.8 in the first down. Let's see if they stop the clock. Now they're in field goal range, Micah, and they do stop the clock. How did he catch that football?
I think it was the same time, and maybe it was a bobble, and it was the interception, and he took it from him.
Ellis had that football.
Wow, I thought it was a pick, but I saw the West Nassau fans and crowd jumping up and down.
My apologies.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, from my view here, that was clearly an interception.
Wow.
And even the folks here in Baker County on this side of the field, they're like, didn't he have that football? So it must have been simultaneous possession.
Wow.
But even the receiver comes in late to make that happen.
Yep.
He pulled it out of there. Yeah, just got confirmation. What a play, and a game-saving play. So here we go, second down at the 17-yard line. Paget looking to the left side, throws it up for grabs, and out of bounds. Looks to be caught by Stanton, but he got walloped out of bounds on the far side of the football field, and he's slow to get up.
Wow. You made a play, 9 seconds. Whew, good.
I can't believe that wasn't an interception.
How
did he come in and make that play?
It looked like he caught it and maybe was bobbling, and the receiver just came and took it from him.
Man, hopefully you guys could see that if you're watching on the social media platforms and could see that better than we can. But from live action, I don't know how that happened. What a great play by the receiver just to fight for that. You know, we saw Scooby Graham fight for that first down earlier. Sometimes you just want it a little bit more, and we're seeing signs of that here tonight at Baker County. 27-24 score. If you're just jumping in, we got a dandy here. Brent Martineau, Micah Ross, 19.9 seconds to go. West Nassau has no timeouts. They cannot afford to be tackled in the field of play without a first down. And they have it at the 17-yard line in field goal range of Baker County. Paget fakes the handoff, throws middle of the field and throws short. Well defended by Baker County. Crawford in on that defense. And, well, that's going to bring up a field goal try and a force of overtime.
Yeah, they were trying. It might have been good because if you would have caught that in the field, I don't know if they would have been able to get to the line.
It would have been close. And you know what? I think Paget saw that was heavy traffic and kind of spiked that ball in the dirt a little bit. Smart decision. I'll give him credit for it.
That was good.
All right, here's the deal now. The ball looks to be marked around the 25-yard line. The kicker is Will Carroll. He's a good one. This will be a 35-yard attempt with rain coming down at Baker County. 27-24, 16 seconds. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and let's watch the officials. It is no good. No good. The kick looked like a beauty. In fact, nobody knew from our angle if it was good or not. The officials say no go.
Wow. I couldn't tell from this angle, but that's a big stop. And Baker County's going to get out of here with the win. Oh, man, both teams fought so hard. And there's a flag on the play for unsportsmanlike on the West Nassau. And, oh, man, my heart goes out to all these kids on the field.
I'll tell you what, that kick was a beauty, right? From up here, it looked like a gorgeous kick. And he got the snap was good. The hold was good. He got a good boot on that. I mean, it's really hard to tell where that ball is. We don't have a camera underneath the goalpost, and nobody seems to.
And the goalposts here are a little bit shorter than the normal.
But I would think, he must have tugged that to the left a little bit. It's the only thing I could imagine. I don't even know if it was left or right. You can't really tell.
It looked right over the middle to me, so I couldn't tell.
I thought for sure. I mean, that thing took forever to land and for the officials to call it. But at the end of the day, we came that close to having our third straight week of overtime. How about that?
Wow, that's a tough way to lose, but your heart goes out to all those kids.
Hey, they gave themselves a chance. You know, if I'm West Nassau, given the way we played, I would say, given the 2 touchdowns off the board, the untimely penalties, the 2 turnovers on downs inside the 5-yard line, to have a chance to tie that game up and send it to overtime, they kept fighting.
Yep,
got to give them a lot of credit.
They give both teams a lot of credit. West Nassau, they fought their hearts out, both teams, and you hate the team has to lose, but you know that this is a high school football, and to the victors.
A big win for Baker County as they kneel on it, and the clock runs out here on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690. Really well done. A good game and fun one to watch. It's good to be out here as Ricky Armstrong and Kevin Bays meet at midfield. The teams now shake hands, and obviously a disappointed West Nassau bunch, and a big win for Baker County. West Nassau now 6-2. The Wildcats here at Baker County go to 5-3. And we brought that up early in the game, right? Said, hey, they played a lot of close games. It's just kind of the way it is. And when you play a bunch of close games, you hold the rope a little bit, you hang on tight, and sometimes you come away with W's, and Baker County did it tonight.
Yep, tried to find a way to finish. That's what it's all about. You work on it in practice. You get in these moments. You get in these situations in practice and hope that the muscle memory and all those things add up. And fortunate for tonight, it was getting a little tense in the end, a few decisions, but they were able to pull it out, and congrats to Baker County on coming out with the W.
Hats off to both teams, man. They fought all the way till the end. West Nassau down 27-14 in the fourth quarter, rallies from a 27-16 deficit in the final 3 minutes, and comes up a field goal shy of sending this one to overtime. 27-24, Baker County beats West Nassau on our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690 here from McClenny. We'll put a bow on it when we come back right after this.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show.
Eli Manning is one of the nicest dudes, class personified. It's impossible to root against him. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not calling him some scrub. We're saying Father Time's caught up.
The Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Honda of the Avenues introduces model year-end savings on our hottest 2019 Honda models. Right now, get 0% financing on 2019 Accord, Civic, CR-V, Pilot, and Odyssey for up to 60 months. You heard right, 0% financing for up to 60 months at Honda of the Avenues, the Honda Giant.
0% for 60 months on 2019 new non-titled models only. Must be approved on tiers 1 through 8 through AHFC. All sales prices are plus tax, tag, registration, and dealer fee of $898. Maximum $30,000 finance before optional business office products. Cannot combine offers. Offer ends 10/31/19.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Florida's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Florida High School Athletic Association and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. The final whistle has blown and the game is over. We're breaking it all down on the High School Football Game of the Week postgame show. Here's Brent Martineau.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. This is getting more fun each and every week, and we can't wait to do next week's game now. Brent Martineau along with Micah Ross, our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week on ESPN 690, ends with a Baker County win, 27-24 over West Nassau. A valiant effort by the Warriors to try to come back in the final few minutes. And a field goal try from 35 yards just comes up wide. We think wide to the right.
We think a little Florida State Miami action wide right maybe, but definitely it was a good kick, and they gave their themselves a chance to win, and it was a good, exciting game. Both teams played hard, a little chippy in the end, but in the end, both Baker County was able to prevail and come out with the victory.
Absolutely, really good effort. Listen, there's plays that every team will always want back, and a couple plays always determine the outcome. West Nassau will look at this game, and a couple touchdowns off the board, a couple of untimely penalties, turnovers on downs, maybe some play calls that they would like back, all those kind of things. But at the end of the day, a good high school football game, fun for everybody out here in McClenny, a great host out here in Baker County, one of the great places to see high school football in Northeast Florida. Now it's time for our Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda Giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy, drive of the game. And I think we have to go to that pivotal spot in the third quarter where West Nassau had one of those touchdowns taken off the board, and then they started going backwards. It was a holding penalty, then a loss of 7 yards on a fumbled snap, and then the fumbled snap over the head of the punter. Give Baker County the football at the 36-yard line, Micah. They would go in from there, finish it off with a Page touchdown run from about 8 yards out. But that sequence of events in a couple of minutes, well, it ended up being the difference in the football game.
Yep, you go from a 21-21 game to a 27-14 game after the touchdown. And those are the plays we talk about watching film tomorrow. Those are the plays that you're gonna look at, and it's gonna be one little thing here, maybe a little grab there, and you're gonna look at it like, man, if we just get that play back, we can score. But that drive was pivotal. Baker County being able to punch it in and get a little breathing room.
Yeah, Jaquan Page's touchdown run proved to be the game winner. Scooby Graham was outstanding. Some of the talent we saw here tonight, some explosive plays, really entertaining football game. This field littered with good players.
Yeah, it was a lot of good athletes out here today. Coaches did a good job of putting them in spots where they can show off their talent, and they were all able to excel, running the ball, throwing the ball, catching it. Great game and great outcome.
Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues brings you our drive of the game and also our keys to the game. Lou Saab Honda of the Avenues, Jacksonville's Honda giant, the Honda dealer that makes you happy. All right, the Friday Night Blitz is on the way. We have more action like this from all around the area. All the scores and highlights coming up at 10:30 on Fox 30 in just a few minutes. I'm going to go down and get some reaction for our Friday Night Blitz show, and then you can catch it again at 11:20 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. This was a lot of fun, man. Thanks for stepping in for Coach Sullivan.
Oh, thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun myself.
You did a great job. Micah Ross, former JU Dolphin, former Jacksonville Jaguar, now the basketball coach at Atlantic Coast High School. Have a good basketball season.
Oh,
right?
Thank you. I'm going to try.
You did a great job, and good to be out here in Baker County. Once again, thanks to everybody for their hospitality. The chicken and rice was outstanding during our radio show this afternoon, and what an atmosphere for high school football, and what a game we had in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week. Thanks to Micah. Thanks to Mark Doherty for all the video on our social media platforms. Thanks to Justin Kuzart for producing the show. I'm Brent Martineau. Everybody saying so long from Baker County, where the Wildcats get the win 27-24 over West Nassau in our Action Sports Jacks Game of the Week. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on the Friday Night Blitz in just a bit on Fox 30 and CBS 47.
Thanks for listening to ESPN 690's High School Football Game of the Week. Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. for Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
So there have been situations where backups have come in recent years, and obviously it's happening this season, and things have been okay. Here's the challenge. We're making this about the quarterback, and I understand that because Mahomes' injury is a huge thing. You can't duplicate what he did.